relevant to you. Experience up and open example. See here is it's completely different and new. You can plus 0. Turn that. Recordings, we don't want to do that. Stream. Broadcast is the important broadcast to. In this case, is it you? Also, we simply go onto YouTube. Okay, so once you've done this and are up and running,
You should be able to do this with
find it in
TeamViewer,
YouTube.
right?
And all the settings: YouTube, Creator Studio,
Although I don't have TeamViewer.
live streaming, events, and once you're streaming with Alt plus F8 or whatever
You're
hotkey you
putting
chose,
a lot of
very
effort
important
into
that
this,
one.
man.
The hotkey you
Much
chose, you
appreciated.
simply click on your stream, it will appear, it will play.
Type it on TeamSpeak. And open it. If the owner of this video has granted you access, please sign in. Okay. Sign into YouTube. And open it. If the owner of this video has granted you access, please sign in. Okay. Alright, the one with the YouTube account of it. And open it. If the Oh my god, I have to use fucking text message verification. One sec. My voice? Why? How come? Oh shit. Fuck's sake, man, I fucking hate Google's shit.
The demons are encroaching on our lands from Suramar. We must...
Okay. Now let's try. This video is private, sorry about that. Now you need my email, right? Do you have the copy paste thing or should I put it on TeamSpeak? Oh yeah, I have you on friends list. I forgot. Yeah, I was worried about that. But I don't really use this email. I just have this one for YouTube. I have like 6 of them. I have like from I have around 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5. Get what? Yep, that's my real name. Zilla Reborn? What? Oh shit. Yes, sir.
Where can we create opportunities to have counterplay
I
against
can hear my
existing
own
heroes,
voice.
existing compositions? So we look at the spectrum of all those things when we're making them. Varian and thinking of him as a multi-class hero, there was a lot of excitement for us of thinking about what does a character like this do to like the draft process. Like,
Yeah, right.
Oh, yeah.
you don't know what he's going to land as. You just don't know.
Are you going against the double tank team,
Yeah.
or are you going against the single tank
And
team?
how do you
Right.
prepare for
Grease
that?
video.
And Heroes
Oh my
to us
god,
is all about
this
this
is like
adaptability,
fucking
right?
perfect.
We're not just kind of putting you in a game and it's the same thing over and over again.
What
Each
the
game,
fuck,
each battleground,
GG?
each hero, each set of talent choices you make, it's a totally different experience. So I
Free
think Varian's
ticket.
kind of the ultimate example of that right now, and it's
Yeah.
the farthest we've pushed the talent system. We're really
Fucking
excited
awesome,
to get
man.
it in people's hands. Like this will be the first thing here, playable at BlizzCon. Like I said, it goes. Varian will be on our test realm next week.
Oh, I love
then we
it.
really start getting like tons of people in there.
Save up
Thanks
that
a lot,
gold, guys.
bro.
Save
Yeah,
it up because
please.
you're going to want both of them. Well, let's talk a little bit. You brought up maps and environments.
Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit about Blackheart's Bay coming to Brawl. So talk us through that process as how you decided on that map.
So to do that, I kind of have to
Oh,
go back
that
and look
should be
at Brawl
public
in general,
one,
right?
right?
Like
Yeah.
I mentioned at opening ceremonies, this started
The
as we made
schedule
those
should be
arena maps
public,
last year.
though.
And it was just this
Shouldn't
really
just be
fast, fun way to
for-
play the game, randomized heroes. You just kind of team fight, and we had a lot of fun with it. But when we went back and decided that Brawl, like the idea of arenas was awesome, but we thought it would fit in really good as a larger thing. And looking at Hearthstone Tavern Brawl, looking at Overwatch's
Yeah.
Brawl mode that they
Yeah.
introduced, we really wanted our equivalent, like something we could use as like the test ground for crazy ideas, doing things that we just can't do in
I
the
don't
normal
know.
game.
Did you send me the
And,
schedule?
we were really excited to play around with that. So we've done, we've shown the arena maps that we had last year. We've actually expanded them since then. We have single lane battlegrounds that we've shown already.
Yeah.
And we think those are a lot of fun, and players have been playing them in custom games with our Lost Cavern map for months and months now, and they
Oh,
really
here
enjoyed
it
it. So we're
is,
excited
yeah.
to bring that in.
And I can
But
pause the
Blackheart's
video and
Revenge was
rewind.
like,
This is
I think
amazing.
we
This
love
is
like,
better
these
than
like
Twitch.
crazy non-lore characters that we've created.
Yeah.
Blackheart is one of our favorites.
Yeah.
We really wanted like a different style of gameplay, attack defend. This notion that there's only one core, you got to defend it or you got to help Blackheart destroy it. And it's just a totally different experience than our other maps, and it's something we can't do in the normal
Warcraft.
PvP game that we have today.
Of course. Well, you know what? We are looking forward to it. I'm definitely saving up my gold.
Oh,
for
yeah.
Varian and
Warcraft. Oh, yeah.
Ragnaros.
What's next?
Thank you, KO,
Oh.
so much for joining us here on the couch.
fuck,
And
it's
right
so
now,
far
we are going to
away.
send
It's
you
like
guys
3
over
hours
to our
away.
first panel of the day.
It's happening. This is happening.
Hearthstone, what's next? It's here, but before we do, just a little reminder that we want to hear from you. Following the panel, we're going to have Hearthstone's production director, Jason Shays, on set. Tweet your questions to @Michelle Morrow or @Alex Albrecht. For now, we're going to send you on to
Yeah,
Hall D.
let's just
and
play
what's
WoW
next
for now.
Hearthstone.
Does the streaming take away from your...
Mean Streets of Gadgets and panel.
let's see. I'm forwarding. Where's your copy UI? Wow. I like your health bar, though. That's actually nice. I think I might get that one. What's the add-on for that? I like that. Zipper? Oh! Oh, I have that add-on. I just didn't use it. What? No, I have Expert, not Zipper. I'll download that one later on. But yeah, your UI is pretty shit, man. It looks exactly like mine. Why? What's it like? I think, honestly, I believe that this UI is the best, honestly.
Alright, this is super
And
fun.
your
I
one's
really
really
need to tell
small.
you
I
about
have
our
my
new
one's like
expansion to
fucking
Hearthstone,
1.2
Mean Streets
UI
Games.
scale.
Our team, the Hearthstone team, has been working hard on it all year, and this is going
Let's
to be
see.
a ton of fun. Alright, I'm Matt Place, senior designer on Hearthstone.
And I'm Jamal Kendrick. I'm a concept artist on Hearthstone.
All right, first I have a question. Is everybody here okay with spoilers? Yeah. Yeah. Thank goodness, because we have a lot of new content to share with you today, and we're going to tell you created gadgets in. First, the question. My clicker. I need a clicker.
We need a clicker. Stat.
Alrighty. All right, howdy. Just like
For Bob?
All right.
What?
Some of you guys might be wondering.
Oh.
Why gadgets in?
Bob Wireless.
It's a sleepy little town out in the middle of Tanaris Desert. Not a lot going on here other than some shady dealing.
Yeah. Wait, what guy that
One
just
day,
died? I
definitely
didn't see
got
any
mad,
recall.
caused a global cataclysm. As you can see, this did not...
Oh, wow, that's a
Clicker's
big
not
one,
working.
bro. Wow, what the fuck? Your records
There
are
we go,
tiny.
awesome. So Gadgetzan was unfazed, other than becoming beachfront property. It was great for Gadgetzan. It created a ton of new opportunity now that it's a port town. And this opportunity caused huge growth. And all of this growth was overseen by a character who might be familiar to some of you. He's now the mayor.
I don't have a target.
You use 7 for a hotkey?
Cool. Alright. So let's dive in and take a closer look at the creation of
Then
the
what?
streets of
Did you
Gadgetzan.
click it?
So I'm going to share with you how we approach Gadgetzan from a visual perspective.
Oh, okay.
We wanted it to feel dark, scary, and like bad news could be waiting around.
Fucking 7 is the worst fucking hotkey ever.
To feel like they had back alleys, but in a fun Hearthstone kind of way. Let me show you where we begin. So initially we started off with buildings that kind of felt like they fit in the current Gadgetzan. We just put our flavor on it. We started we started out with the barber shop.
Wait,
You know,
I'm
barbershop
trying
is a
to
neighborhood
catch up
staple, right?
with
I mean, who doesn't
what your
all the
screen.
barbershops? But a lot of us do. It just seemed like
Oh,
a no-brainer.
okay, yeah.
And just below that, you had to go to the tattoo shop.
Wow.
In a
But
city
6
like
is not bad.
Gadgetzan,
I
where
use
you
6.
have all these
I like 6.
crews and crime families and gangs, they gotta represent. What better way to represent than to get tatted
Open
up?
it, baby, I'm ready.
So from there we realized, we need to see it feel big and bustling like it's growing. So we started stacking these buildings on top of each other to get the height we needed, get the feel we wanted. That felt like the right decision.
What the fuck? What the fuck?
That should keep them at bay for now. Fare you well, champion. We will handle it from here.
Yeah, you put that shit in your bank, not in your fucking bag. Oh my god.
After that, we moved on to the Jade Lotus. We got a lot of inspiration from Pandaria. The lanterns, the curved roofs, ornate doorways, and I feel like we accomplished that.
Really?
They're mages and
Wow,
mystics.
good job,
We wanted them to
Blizzard.
feel a little dangerous, so we went with more triangular shapes.
Yeah, you're gonna have to make like a session, clean up
silhouette of
day,
that building.
basically.
You can see it in the windows, even in the drapery hanging down. So now that we have the city kind of figured out, we know the direction we're going in, we had to kind of establish a mood. And I want to stand up here and tell you guys, like, establishing this mood was super hard. But let's face it, we don't have a day-night cycle in Hearthstone. So we just did ourselves a
So
solid,
what
and
do
we
you
just
feel
made
like
it all
doing?
night. There's our mood. Let me show you how this played out in game. So on the far left, the grimy goons. You can see some of those strong shapes.
Ah, you
those
didn't
heavy
forget.
materials. It
And
feels
oh my god,
industrial and it feels tough.
you're such good
In the
friend,
center,
Comrade.
the Jade Lotus. You see the archways, the lanterns. We really feel like we accomplished that there. And on the far right, you see those triangular shapes. You see it in the shapes of the buildings, the windows,
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
that drapery.
You
But
take
not
all
only
the
did this
time in the world,
concept
Comrade.
inform the in-game card art, but it also informed the board. We always have a great time making these boards. Hopefully at this point you can kind of see
Why,
those
what's up?
clearly distinguished factions in each corner. The top left, sharp shapes, And at this point, we're establishing some of the
I need to get closer.
Wow. Oh my god, phone calls left and right.
An efficient kill. Most admirable.
some fruit might pop out that you can slice and dice. You know we love hiding clickables all throughout the board, so have a good time finding them. And on the far left, it had to be the docks. The docks played such a
Rogue Nightfallen are rebuilding mana pylons in the ley ruins. The Azure Wing have requested your
What's
help
that?
in
What
eradicating
language
this
are they using?
pestilence, champion.
Awesome. All right. Sweet.
Ugh.
All right, so let's do our first card review. Denizen of Gadgetzan, you might hear walking down the street. Walking down these streets. The big-time racketeer. So he's a
I'm out
big-time
of
criminal,
range.
but small himself. So he's always got his big puppy, 6'6" elder with him.
What the fuck?
It's too far.
Wow, that sounds like a fucking nightmare.
So he says, say hello to my little friend. It's hilarious. As you guys will find. Alright, if you want to hire some muscle, our next target.
I need to target something first.
The second-rate bruiser. So he's base 5 for a 4/5 taunt. If your opponent's playing an aggressive deck, has 3 more minions in play, he goes down to 3 mana 4/5 taunt. So pretty incredible, pretty cool.
If I see like 3 syntax errors, I get a heart attack.
Alright, as Jamal mentioned, the docks played a huge role in the genesis.
1,500 sounds like too fucking much.
Did I say
And our
obliterate?
next pirate is a
I will
legendary.
obliterate and
He's actually
disintegrate
designed
and
that we've
exterminate
wanted
and...
to do since the Grand
Did I say
Spell
obliterate?
Edition.
You face Millhouse the Magnificent!
So what do you specialize in anyways? Oh, nice. You ever work with game
Patches
engines?
the pirate. He's a 1-cost 1/1 charge that jumps out of your deck when you play another pirate. Some pretty cool new interesting to find. And he's the envy of pirates everywhere since he has more eye patches than most pirates have eyes. And
I don't have a target. I need to get closer.
so we play our pirate. He's the size of a
I
cannonball.
was working on
He's
iOS platforming for a game we finished
and now
like
we're gonna gang him up. You guys see where this
3
is
weeks
going?
ago.
Great. Perfect for our set
Yeah,
of
fuck
gangs
that
who
shit,
combos
man.
with gang up.
Fucking hate it.
We're gonna do it twice.
Yeah, it's easy, but
So
like,
now we have
it's just so fucking boring, man.
patches in our deck. Pirate patches
And
in
because
our
it's boring, I'm not bothered to fix up all the shit that goes wrong.
deck. You guys ever great?
But that's with the game engine integration. I don't know about normal application.
Super cool card.
It's like,
The Azure Wing
it's
have
like
proven to be
I'm
of value.
I'm coding a game and then
By
I'm
aiding
coding
them, you have
integration.
ensured
Like
their support in our
the
campaign
difference
against the Legion.
is really big. Like that one's fun and the other one's not.
And
You know.
as we mentioned earlier, in addition to pirates and individual criminals, there's
For that project we used Unity.
The first one we're going to show you is the grimy goons. They
No,
represent
it
the
shouldn't,
disorganized
but
crime here in Gadgetzan.
We ran into a few
They
problems.
make their cash with petty crimes and bank
There's always
robberies
problems with
and their
coding.
major
You
operations, which
should
is weapons
know.
smuggling. And they all take their orders.
Like you can
from
never get it
their
fucking
leader,
perfect from the
two-headed
first time.
ogre, Don Honcho.
Yeah,
It was
game
so much
development.
fun to create. He's half shrewd businessman and the other half knuckle thumping
No,
thug.
man, I just
I
finished
mean,
like
this guy,
2
he started from
projects
the
so
bottom.
far, but
He worked
like
his way to the top. He's
they're
ambitious,
basically
he had a plan.
like I'm not working
He
for
had the
anyone. I'm
muscle to,
just
like, really change things in
like
Gadgetzan.
fucking
At this point, he's recruiting madly.
begging
trying to
for
bolster his
someone to
ranks in
give me a
preparation
project, and I just do it
for a
for them.
hostile takeover of Gadgetzan. Let me show you what went into designing this character.
But
So,
it's paying off
of
pretty
course, with the
fucking
two
well.
lines, we
Like,
wanted to
first one I worked
visually
on,
reflect that. So we just literally
I worked on
split
it
him down
for
the middle.
about 4 months
Like
until
on one
that's
side,
it, I was
he's
done,
slick, man. His
and
tie is nice. He's
that
got
basically
cufflinks.
gave me enough money
He's
for a
got that
whole year
monster
of
aesthetic.
living.
He has the cool
And then the
hat,
next one I
polo
did
hat.
took
He has
5
the
months, and it
pinstripe
also gave
pants.
me a year of
On the other
living.
side, he just wants to be comfortable while he
This
knocks
is,
people out.
that's
He's
amazing.
like Debo. I mean, I don't even think he washes his clothes. And that must be kind of hard when they're stitched together, but I'm sure they figure it out.
But yeah, I'm planning on starting my own
Now,
game development
even
thing.
their weapons say a lot about
It's
the player.
already
Like,
starting.
that gun is pretty efficient. Where on the other hand, you have these brass knuckles. He wants to get up close and personal and in your face. Okay? So what we try to do with this is we try to
Why
establish
not?
a lot of the visual language, the palette and stuff up front, so we can inform the rest of his goons and the rest of his henchmen. Let's look at these guys. So on the far left, you have the Hosen. And as you can see right away, he has that cool hat. He has the pinstripes. You can see that across the board. The suspenders. Right next to the Hosen, you have this Forsaken. And honestly, with that straight razor, that dude looks like serious business. I don't want to run into him in a dark alley and gadget. And
What the fuck? That's a lot.
Well struck.
300,000 requests a second? What the fuck?
The cool hats that Murloc, his mustache is
What?
still looking
How many
cool.
customers does your company
And
have? What?
check out his weapon. He doesn't just have bullets in his gun. He has seashells. I mean, that's what a Murloc would do. To the far right, we have that Goblin. And like Matt said, you know, weapon smuggling and weapon trading, that's a major source of income for the Grimy Goons. So we also had to design quite a few weapons for these guys.
So you're basically hosting for them.
All right. So the big gun on the top left is the Rock Spitter. That was the first gun that we created. It felt so awesome. I mean, you stuff in boulders, you grind them up, and you shoot rocks into your opponent's face. I mean, that's so much fun.
Greetings.
And again, here we are with this Murloc test. What kind of gun would a Murloc
Goddess,
use?
watch over you.
He used a piranha gun, right? And Murlocs, they get hungry. So we made a special attachment that has a fishing pole. After a hard day's work, a Murloc has to eat. But honestly, my favorite gun on this page, and you might have to squint your eyes, it's in the bottom right-hand corner. It's called the Derpinger. This gun is small, but it packs a heck of a punch. And what's funny is the scope is bigger than the gun, and the scope has a scope. So no shots are being missed. Let me show you all these guns.
The earth, boil their seas,
Yeah.
them before you.
Just a cool gun. Oh, thanks.
Damn.
And in
I hope
my
I make a
favorite gun,
company
the
that does
Derpinger,
that much
Torn,
shit.
She's holding down her weapons with that little gun.
We are all that stands between the Legion and
On the
annihilation.
far right, that Rock Spitter got a super upgrade. Like, that guy looks like he has a tank slung across his
I didn't bother.
He could
It's
probably
not
level
necessary for
a
my
whole
field
block
of work.
Gadgetzan. So we're really happy with how that came out.
I know a
And
bit
that
of
kinda,
assembly
wraps up
and
the design, visual design of
binary,
Grimy
but
Goons.
it's very unnecessary. I don't need it basically.
Alright, so let's take a look at the turf. that
Yeah,
belongs to
but
the
like,
Gravians.
no,
There's
like
three
that's
classes that make
for the
them up.
most
Our
basic
hunter,
level, but
paladin,
like if you
and
want to make a
warrior.
proper game,
So their gun
the
smuggling is
most,
represented
the
by
lowest we
hunters,
can go to
and they're
is
the self-proclaimed law here in Gadgetzan.
C++,
Enforcers on the street,
maximum.
the brutes, so paladin and warrior. Alright, our first Grimy Goon comes.
Yeah, C is, yeah, you'll never reach C for game development.
I know a guy. Now you can know a guy. So we love these designs that have energized with the mechanic that tells that story. So now you can discover that bodyguard you need early game, late game.
Do you remember Roller Coaster Tycoon?
Alright, as you might guess, bank robbery is a huge problem.
You know the
here
guy
in
that
Gadgetzan.
made
Once
the
you got all
first
cash,
version of it,
how do you get
did
away?
all of it in assembly?
Here's our answer.
Yeah.
Play
Yeah.
Kodo. Love it. Kodo's-
I
Get
think
away,
it took
Kodo.
him
Love
like
it.
4
Kodo's
years.
busting through the bank, all those Grimy Goons riding on his back. So this is a one-cost paladin secret Whenever your opponent kills a minion, it's going to go back to your hand, so you get the battle cries again. So it's a cool new,
That shit
cool new way to get your cards
is
back.
like fucking one of the greatest accomplishments in coding, honestly. It's not that hard once you know what you're doing, but like it takes so much fucking work and dedication.
Lets you pull 3 1-cost minions from your deck directly to your hand. So we love cards like this that have.
Can you
different
imagine
ways you can
coding
explore
like
different
50
deck building
lines
paths.
for
You
1
might do it with
pixel
Murlocs,
color?
all the little guys buffing
Like,
each other.
what the fuck?
Xeris, who's going to transform into some bigger minion later. And regardless of which path you go, it's cool that you're thinning your deck, so you're going to have better draws in the late game when you play this card. Alright, next we have Paladin Legendary.
You don't need to know much, just know that you need to write 50 to 100 lines so you can make 1 pixel. And if you want to make that pixel move, you have to write another 100 or fucking 150 lines.
Insane, but I'm an he has built a cannon into his chest armor.
This is fucking crazy, man.
I need to get closer.
So as you can see, not insane at all. He's just
An efficient kill. Most admirable.
Which works great with his power that restores health to your hero whenever he deals damage. Combine that with some paladin buffs, get him up to 5 attack, and you might be restoring 10 health to your hero. So pretty
Man, I'm so disappointed. I bought like 500 fucking gliders, and like they're filling up my fucking inventory, and I can't use them in dungeons anymore. Like what the fuck? It's fucking Blizzard.
Grime Street Informant. So his battle cry lets you discover a card from one of the classes, one of the 3 classes that make up the
Drainer Pots?
And as you can see, it's cycling through that banner is underneath in the top left, cycling through the colors that make up those 3 classes. And this card is not restricted to one of those classes. You can actually play it in any 3, so you can play it in Hunter, Paladin, or Warrior. And specifically how this works,
Draining versatility potion, just fucking delete, please.
So you can break the rules and bust out of your class and get some cards from the other classes. So here's an example. You might get Hunter's Eaglehorn Bow, Paladin's True Silver Champion, or Warrior's Upgrade. Now if you're already playing Paladin, so you have True Silver Champion.
Do you have 2 screens or what?
Combine that with Upgrade.
Do you have 2 monitors or 1?
And restoring 6 health to your hero, so pretty crazy. So we love these new combinations that might have been difficult or impossible.
I'm out of range.
No way.
Another Paladin deck you might play.
Yeah, I used to do that before.
Imagine that with Eaglehorn Bow.
Fuck that shit. How many inches did you say?
Alright, so that's the grimy goons, these enforcers, the brutes, the self-proclaimed law here in Gadgetzan.
Are you fucking serious?
They're the cloth casters.
41-inch TV?
They're the cloth casters. Magic and they all bend to the will of their leader, who we showed you
The biggest I ever played on was 34, and at the time I was playing Dota. I couldn't look at the minimap. I stopped, I gave up.
He's also very mysterious. No one really knows his true origins, but honestly, no one really cares.
Exactly. Like if I wanted to look at the minimap in Dota, I just fucking have to move my head down.
I don't have a target.
What the fuck, man? You're buying virtual tickets and you don't want to buy a fucking monitor?
Let me show you what went into designing this character. A lot of fun stuff going on with this guy. Right away, we had to represent 3 classes. You know, priest, warlock, mage. We kind of did that. The cowl, that kind of goes across all 3. But then, like his arm pad, like with the star, that feels really warlock. And if you go down into like his lower robes, you know, you see a lot of those sharp shapes.
Yeah, I know that feel. You just need to adjust. Like when you pay good money on a monitor, you're not going to go outside,
He has like
you know?
a lot of cool stuff going on. First of all, his tusks. Like I've never seen troll tusks like that. And the reason why is because
you can just use your monitor as a secondary one.
Mana he uses.
So when you want to watch movies or something when you're playing.
To his tattoos. All the Cabal get these tattoos, and since they use a lot of external,
you can put it on the floor.
They take that corrupted mana, turn it into tattoo, and get these.
I can imagine fucking 41 inches. Oh my god.
In case they're ever in a situation where they need a little extra.
Nah, you can think of something, I'm
cool
sure.
Thing about Kazakis here It's his belt.
My pathfinders
That
tracked a
belt,
pair of
that little red
stonebinders to bite
circle
stone
on the center of his
enclaves.
stomach is a
They
portal.
were
Goes
disciples
right
of
through his
Darkmoon
body. No one knows
and are
where it
very
goes.
dangerous.
Maybe to another
This is a
dimension.
Yeah,
meeting
but
that
like,
must be
dimension?
stopped.
Another dimension.
it's not good, man. You can't keep on playing on the screen that big
I'm really in love with those white dreads of his too. One final really cool fact about
because you move your fucking neck around, and that's harmful to your neck
really cool,
and your
a
spine.
little hunched over. So we wanted his we wanted him to be like more upright. We felt like he felt stronger. And we wanted him to be a little more. So we made him a Zandanari troll. And we felt like that was the right way to go.
Do you not move your head when you're playing?
Alright. Murloc test. Mana pop Murloc far left.
I guess if you're playing WoW it's fine, but if you play like FPS or something, you need focus.
He licks it.
I need to get closer.
And instead of we have an error code, we just felt like they fit in the Cabal. I mean, they're dark.
I'm out of range.
They're already kind of creeping. We felt like they just fit right in. And on the far right, we have that goblin that just consumed and corrupted mana. Right? We have that goblin that just consumed and corrupted mana. Let me show you a few.
What's happening in this thing? Let's see. Did they turn off the stream yet?
Potions being concocted on the left. We got that tattoo just being finished there in the center. That orc looks great.
No, no need. If they turned it off, I'll let you know.
I can get one of those. And on the far right, that Ericoa. We faced a really crazy challenge with the Ericoa though. They covered in feathers. Where can we put tattoos?
Yeah, they're still live.
What we did was, we used that shape
What
language.
is it?
So, these guys use a lot of external sources of power. Let me show you how we went about creating some of these things.
Oh!
Now you might
No,
have
it's not
noticed some of their
Hearthstone.
potions are wrapped in chains,
There's an
and that's for a
Overwatch
reason.
tournament.
They're super unstable. So they have these enchanted chains to help stabilize these potions. Because I believe
Oh, okay.
could possibly level all of Gadget's.
Oh, the main stage is the one that you need the ticket for, and this is the free one.
Another portal to some strange place, maybe another dimension.
Not again, not again.
All right.
I need to get
Ugh,
closer.
this tournament is filled with noobs, what the fuck. They just got random people, the people voted for.
That should slow down their efforts to get
It's
organized.
not ready yet.
And personally, I just think he looks badass. In the center, we have that potion about to go nuclear. So I hope those chains hold up. And finally on the right, we have that person pelling potions. That's how they have to distribute these corrupted mana potions throughout Gadgetzan. So that kind of wraps up the visual design of the Cabal.
Overwatch is looking interesting now. Before you came online, they announced something called Overwatch League, and basically what they're saying is that it's going to be like a place where all the team managers and owners and shit gather up, and they make their own testing system, and they test players, and if they accept them, they give them a salary, and they take them on a team and shit.
Do you feel the change?
Yeah, in-game feature.
Selling like mad.
Of course it's not bad. I can easily start, I can easily
Potion of
become
Madness.
a pro on
It's a free
Overwatch.
spell. It's fantastic. It lets you take an enemy minion, a tiny enemy minion.
I was
attack
like
with it right away.
rank 50
So if it's
EU
aggressive
on
deck,
season
they've got a
1.
2-1 and a 3-2. Grab that 2-1, slam it into a 3-2. Is a spy. Kazakus decided that he needs to keep tabs on his rivals. So Kazakus decided that he
Yeah,
needs to keep
I know
tabs on
that
his
feeling.
rivals.
Same
So he
thing
hired
happened
this
with me,
9-foot
but when
tall
Overwatch
Darks.
came out, it was just so much fun, you know? And I was like, let me try hard this shit, see where I
5
can
mana,
get.
5/6, so great stats
And
to
I got
start.
pretty far.
And he lets you discover a card from your opponent's deck. Really cool new mechanic. And this is great flavor to the spy because not only are you getting to copy that card, but the 2 cards you don't pick are still providing you information on what's left to come from your opponent's deck. So, super cool card. On what's left to come from your opponent's deck. So, super cool card. All right, next we have a mage card. So you choose a friendly minion and get another chance at
Man,
drawing
it must be a
which is
fucking dream
especially great when
to
minion
play
and get another
games and
chance
get
at drawing
money.
it,
Holy
which is
shit.
especially great when you're playing a deck with a leader for the Cabal who says no duplicates in your deck. you
So
only
many
have
people
one
are doing it nowadays, it's not a dream anymore.
Speaking of Kazakus, let's take a look at him. All right, here he is. Kazakus is super awesome. We showed him earlier today. I want to dive in. Abyss is super
need to
awesome.
target
We showed him
something
earlier
first.
today. I want to dive in a bit more and give you the background of his creation and
Yeah,
exactly
it's
how
basically at the
creating your
point
own
where
spell
it's
works.
like,
So one day in
yeah,
Hearthstone
what
Design, someone
what you're
said, "Hey,
saying
let
is
players
basically
create their
it
own
was easy
Hearthstone
to
cards."
enter, but now you
And that's
need
an
to
easy
be
question
someone
to answer
amazing
with,
if you want to
bah
enter.
humbug, what does that mean? That's impossible, we can never do that. But someone else actually answered it, and they said, how about with 3 costs? You'll always have 1, 5, or 10. And the reason we chose these 3 costs is we wanted one so that if you're under the gun, you need something right away, you've got that as an
Yeah.
option. And these 1-cost spells are much better than what you're used to. For example, deal 3 damage and gain 4 armor, so quite good. 5 we chose for that perfect curve, right? Turn 4 Kazakas into turn 5.
Yeah, exactly. That's what happened with Overwatch. I was considering doing it actually, but I was just too lazy really. Like, when the game came out, I was at the top basically from the beginning, and I could have easily started streaming.
So Team Blood goes from draw 1, draw 2 to draw 3.
But I just got too lazy. Like, I made an account, I made all the setup stuff, and then I just like, yeah, fuck this.
I need to target something first.
We chose 10. Now we're choosing our first power. Deal 6 damage to all minions, quite potent. For our second power, resurrect 3 minions.
Job's done.
All right, we'll fast forward a few turns. Oh, look at this, we're way behind. 7 minions to nothing. We got nothing going
Yeah,
on.
for sure.
Will our potion get us back into it?
Honestly, I feel like the key is,
Hey, what do you know?
if
We
you want to
engineered it,
stream,
we're
is to
killed
basically
our
just
bonus
answer
guys,
as
and
many
we're left with
questions
3
as you
great
can.
minions. Yeah, you can see, it's super potent. One of our goals was to live that original dream where you actually feel like you're creating your own spell. So cool. And that meant we needed to create a lot of ingredients.
Like, one of the
Exactly
top
what we did.
Overwatch streamers is where I learned this from. He's like one of the best players right now on Overwatch, and like even when he's playing, you know, he's just always just answering questions.
The outcast magic users here in Gadget.
Good day to you.
Next
See
we
you
have
Crusher,
the final
did you watch
round.
it?
They are the assassins. They move by night, unseen.
When I first
They are
started
stealing
listening to it,
jade
I was
and
like,
jade artifacts
what the
from all
fuck?
over
What is
Azeroth,
this shit? Is this an
bringing them here
advertisement?
to Gadget's End
It
for
was
some
so weird.
nefarious reason. And they are the Jade Lotus.
Oh, the Jade Lotus. Check out that huge Pandaren. His name is White Eyes. He's immovable as a mountain, as swift as
Crusher
lightning,
99.
and as
Where are
pitiless
these
as a
guys, man?
storm.
13 years old?
When his name is whispered throughout the streets of Gadgetzan, all these hardened criminals, they shake in their boots. They're afraid of this guy. There's one small thing that most people don't know. He is in fact not the
Oh my
leader
god, I just
of the
noticed
Jade
that
Lotus.
1999
He's the sworn
is
bodyguard
like
of Aya
someone
Black
that's
Paul.
18 years old,
That's
man.
her down below. Don't let her bright eyes and her
Holy
smile fool
shit.
you. She's quite deadly. She comes in a small package, and just you have to look out for this Aya
I'm
Black Paul.
24.
She's very cunning. Let me show you what went into designing these two.
Oh yeah?
Okay, right away, we had to have scale. He had to be much larger than her. And to accomplish that, we did a few things. Take a look at his pauldron.
23, what? You're counting the days to your
That thing
birthday?
must weigh a ton. And he's just shouldering that thing like it's nothing. Gotta be strong. Now look at his gauntlets. They're made from empty brewmaster kegs. Can you imagine how
I
big
stopped
your
caring
arms
about
have
my
to be to
birthday
fight
so
this
long
game?
ago. Like sometimes I ask myself, I have to ask
You
myself
also
2 or
notice
3
that they're
times,
important in
what's my age so I
that
can
they're
remember.
collecting at
Like,
frenzy pace for some nefarious reason. And
Well
also
met.
gold.
Ancestors watch over
That
you.
goal is to represent their affluent family. Aya Black Paul is the last member of the Black Paul family, and they're very wealthy.
Peace,
On the far
friend.
right there,
Be careful.
actually there
you
was
see
some
that
good
early
ones for
sketch
me
of
to do.
White Eyes? You can see the Jade Lotus on his back. I mean, honestly, I stood in the mirror. I went like this, just to make sure it was right. I think I got it.
I did one mythic Black Rock Hole today with the guild, the normal one,
Let me
and
show you how
well,
some
my
of these
shaman,
design
and I
decisions,
got 2
worked
items.
out in their
Feels
plan.
good.
So we pulled a lot of characters
Yeah.
and cast from Pandaria. The Mantic they make great rogues. They got 4 arms.
I'm hoping to get
You know, they
full
got 2
set
little ones with that, like that
if
are
I
like that.
clear all
Like,
of them.
that's
But I
perfect.
need to get some male
In the
users.
center, you have the vermin. Those got pesky. Have the vermin. Those got pesky. Oh, those guys, they travel in packs. They got brass knuckles. It's like a fluffy white wave coming at you. Hard to deal with. And of course the Jinyu. I mean, they're elegant. They're slippery. She has those cool bamboo nunchucks. He looks deadly but cool at the same time.
Jamar, I want to call out that Ninja Murloc. That is so cool. I wish we had made that a legendary in the set.
Oh, we should have.
If only we had done that.
Listen. Ninja starfish are crazy. So let me show you a few of these guys in game. Look at that mansion. He's going to cause some problems.
What the fuck?
And in the center,
Is
you
your
have the
graphics
vermin.
card
Now,
980?
I just told you that he traveled in packs. But he's
Your
solo
enemies
right
have
there.
sent
Wow.
reinforcements from the sea. Show my ocean-fearing children
It sent-
how to properly sink
It sent
succubus.
me, the email you sent me for the stream, it tells me what your computer specs are.
And you notice they all have different kind of weapons. Let me show you a little bit about
I don't have a target.
Thankfully, the World of Warcraft team did a great job on designing weapons for Pandaria.
Which one is it,
You
EVGA?
have shown yourself to be worthy.
Ooh, that Jade Golem with
Wow,
the double-sided
we have the
pole
exact
arm,
same graphics
super
card.
fierce. And there we have Aya Blackpaw in the center. She has
What the fuck?
deadly,
What
deadly.
is
Like
it?
I told you, don't let the bright eyes and that smile fool you. She'll take you out. On the far right, that mansion.
But my
coming out
Intel
of
is
the shadows with
different,
that
my
stick dagger,
CPU, I have a
he's an assassin
5820K.
for sure. And that kind of wraps up the visual design of the Jade.
Isn't the 6700 one not that good?
Alright, here are the 3 classes that make up the Jade Lotus. We've got Rogue, Shaman, and Druid. So they represent the assassins and the mystical and martial masters. Our first card.
Yeah, it's just a more affordable version, right?
Pilfered Power, quite potent. This is a Druid spell. Gives you mana based on how many minions you have in play. So on turn 3, if you've got 3 minions, you're going to skyrocket from 3 mana on turn 3 all the way up to 7 mana on turn 4. So pretty insane. And it creates kind of new cool decks too. You want a lot of little guys to power up your Pilfered Power, and then you skip the middle part of your curve, and then just have all haymakers at the end. Alrighty. Our next spell, I believe everyone in here has probably cast at least once, maybe hundreds, if not thousands of times. Can anyone guess what it is? Oh, I did hear it actually.
What Pokemon?
You are correct. We have given Rogue the coin. The counterfeit coin.
You do pet battles? Please don't tell me you do
This
pet
gives you
battles.
1 mana this turn only, and it's kind of crazy to give this to Rogue, but we had to do it because of how well it combos.
You fucking no lifer. You leveled fucking pets to 25.
Alright, next we've got the rare tri-class for the Jade Lotus.
Let me guess. War between Blackrock
Lotus
Foundry
Assassin.
and
It'll let
Hellfire.
you discover a card from one of the 3 classes. One of the 3 classes that make up the Jade Lotus.
Siege?
I want to talk a little bit
There
about
wasn't
tri-class
much
real
delay
quick. We've got
between
9
the end
total
of
in
Siege
set.
and
Each of the
Warlord.
crime families will be getting 3. And one of those 3 for each of the families will be their
Really?
awesome boss. So we're showing Kazakus here this week.
I don't know.
Each of the other ones
I
are
just
two,
quit the
Haya,
game after I
and
finished the
Don
raid.
Pancho. Alright, so the Lotus Agent will let you discover, and this is great. Once again, it lets you break the rules and create new combinations that might have been difficult before. If you're playing Druid, who normally doesn't get access to weapons, well, luckily, Rogue and Shaman do. So pretty cool. Alright, we got one more card reveal. This is a legendary. Very exciting. It's for Druid. Yeah, pretty awesome. Kuhn the Forgotten King. He is the biggest choose one we've ever had for Druid. 10 armor as one choice, or refresh your mana crystals as the other, which essentially makes him free in the late game. Combo that with reduction of cost for your minions and other things, and he can go pretty crazy, bouncing them back to your hand. Very cool card. All right, awesome. So that does it for the card reveals. We have one more important reveal.
The mean streets of Gadgetzan pack. In a dangerous city like Gadgetzan, it had to be a safe, right? You got to keep those valuable Hearthstone cards somewhere safe. But honestly, the fun part is not keeping them in there. It's going to be busting them out. And you'll be able to do that in early December.
Yay, exciting. And leading up to Gadget Zan's launch in early December, we're going to be doing a focus each week on each of the families. So be sure to stay tuned for that. We've got a lot of their cards are going to be revealed, and each has a new strategy, a new way to play that we'll be showing you guys in those weeks. All right, and I'm a liar. We have one more card to show. Couldn't end without showing this. Hinted at it earlier. This is the assassin, the #1 assassin here in the mean streets of Gadget Zan. He's the guy you hire when you need the job done right and no witnesses left behind. And the good news, he will work for fish. So awesome. Benja the Flying Star is a stealth ninja Murloc who is a master in the art of Benjitsu. And when he kills an enemy minion, he will pick 2 Murlocs from your deck he deems worthy to train in this ancient art of Benjitsu and put them directly from your deck into play. So awesome in Murloc decks, could make some
You come to
so
die!
super cool card, love it. All right, awesome guys, thank you. This was tons of fun.
And honestly, I'm going to speak for the whole Hearthstone team. We've appreciated all of the love, and we love you right back. Have a great BlizzCon.
Thank you guys. Awesome.
Thank you for attending the Hearthstone Mean Streets of Gadget Zan panel.
You're watching BlizzCon 2016, an original DirecTV production since 2008.
Man, I'm loving BlizzCon these days because I can always count on a Hearthstone expansion, and Mean Streets of Gadget Zan is no different. And luckily, we are here with Jason Chase to talk to us a little bit more about the expansion. So congratulations, first and foremost.
Thank you very much. It's great to be here.
Foremost.
Thank you very much. It's great to be here.
You know, Hearthstone always brings so
What
much
the
fun
fuck?
because it's Hearthstone, the heroes of Warcraft, so it always brings so much fun
What
into
are
this
these
universe.
fucking cosplays?
How did you guys decide to focus on Gadget Zan?
You know, it's definitely one of the great things about Hearthstone is it is definitely a little more lighthearted game. We can kind of take it in a bunch of different directions. You know, we really love to ask the question like, what if? What if the greatest party of all time led to the destruction of Karazhan? So for this, we're really thinking about what if, with the great cataclysm sort of changing the landscape of Gadget Zan, what would happen?
I'm gonna be right
In
back.
this case, we think it would attract people from all over Azeroth, big merchants and traders, and potentially lead to some unsavories coming into Gadget Zan as well. And so that's really where it started, is just what kinds of things could come out of that, and then how does that grow over time, and the growth of these kind of giant crime organizations, and what would be the fun thing to do with that?
So I love the fact that you guys decided to do 3 different crime families, as it were, flavors of crime, some might say. When did the concept of the tri-card decks come up? I mean, you broke it into 3s. When was that thing of what if all 3, you know, each one consists of 3 different classes, and that makes sense. And the next logical step is you got to have some cards that they can all play.
Yeah.
So ideas like that come from 2 places. I mean, for one thing, they kind of come from just the lore.
Yeah.
Like we know that basically Gadget Zan is going to be a place that has a lot of crime running through it, and so when it's a place that kind of breaks the rules a little bit, that kind of lends itself really well to different card mechanics as well. So let's break the rules a little bit and give all of our, you know, priest players a chance to cast some mage spells, or give our paladin players chances to cast some hunter spells. And so that's kind of how this stuff kind of grows, is it's tied in just with the history of the world as well as a mechanic that we're excited about in the game itself.
You know, speaking on like the how did you come up with, because that tri-class is such a cool idea, and as a Hearthstone player myself, I find this is going to just blow my mind and change my decks. But who came up with the idea of creating your own spell?
Oh my God, that's right.
He or she, whoever did it, like, did that blow all of your minds?
You know, it's definitely something that actually, believe it or not, we heard about that idea from the community going way back when. And so we had these ideas that kind of percolate around in our heads for a long time. And so within our design team, we kind of embrace certain ideas. Like, what is there some way we could pull this off? And so that was really the origins of Kazakus, with the idea of kind of pulling that in.
So backstory, obviously, I think that it's clear that that's some of the joy of working on Hearthstone, is being able to sort of fill in these backstories. Which of the three crime families was your favorite working on?
I
mean, they all have great stories.
No, absolutely. I think, I mean, like, the Grimy Goons has its cool part for sure, the Jade Lotus, but I think for me, the Cabal is one of the ones just seeing some awesome combination of the cloth casters coming from all over Azeroth together, you pooling their resources to create this bootleg mana trade. And what happens when you can actually get access to this incredible power for a price? So that whole kit, that whole sort of lore behind it, I think it's just been a lot of fun.
The tattooing of the red mana stuff was really cool to have, like, stores of mana on your tattoos, and it was really cool. It's really cool backstory.
Yeah, the team has just done an amazing job with this. You know, this is, in the history of the expansions and the updates we've done for Hearthstone, this is one of the times we've kind of gone the furthest with making up a lot of new lore and a lot of new universe. And so we really kind of, the art team did a colossal job, the design team did a colossal job figuring out what would these three crime families do, what would they be like, and each have their own identities.
I love it. Is this now because you love the Cabal? Is it because you play a priest, a mage, or a warlock?
I do. I have to sort of confess that I play some of that. For sure. So,
interesting.
You'll see some love for those as well as the other classes as well.
Oh, does the team plan on revealing any more about the crime families as we're here at BlizzCon?
You know what? We'll probably still have a few more surprises just over the course of the next few days, but what I can say is that over the next few weeks, we're going to be revealing a lot more about each of these things kind of right after BlizzCon and leading up to the launch in the early part of December. So kind of stay tuned. You'll see a lot of big updates coming on as we really start to focus more on what more surprises are left with each of these groups.
Is Talon going to keep talking to us over Facebook?
Whoa. I think you can expect some more updates from Talon. Yeah.
I thought that was so brilliant. I just think I love when you guys do fun stuff like that for sure.
Yeah, well, I'm really glad that you guys are bringing Gadget Zan. I mean, as a WoW player too, it's like, I feel like Gadget Zan kind of got lost in that cataclysm.
Tannerus,
and really it is now. I mean, honestly, with the invasions that started happening, I was finding myself there more and more, and I was like, right, this place is amazing. So it's pretty cool. Like Karazhan, everybody, you know, it's like the old faithful, but I feel like with Gadget Zan, it must have been really cool to pick something out of the sort of semi-WoW obscurity and be like, let's make this now the focus.
It's such a cool place because it's there in the middle of Chernarus, and it's a place that you can kind of do this crazy stuff because it's away again from the Alliance and the Horde. Crazy things can happen there, and so yeah, I think you'll see a lot of that in the expansion.
I also have to say thank you so much for all the extra Murloc love. I was a big fan of Sir Finley Murgleton last year. So the fact that there's a mustache Murloc, the evil twin of a good Murloc, and then the mana lollipopping licking Murloc. I mean, I was like, guys, this Murloc thing is just...
love.
I got to rock a Murloc deck. I think that's pretty clear.
I think you need to, for sure. Especially, like, you know, right now we are in Year of the Kraken.
That's
and
right.
Year of the Kraken is ending somewhere in the middle of 2017, correct?
The early part, yeah.
Early part of 2017. So how will expansions like this, are you guys going to continue to roll that out around March, April, when you change the year of whatever it's going to be next?
So yeah, that is the plan. So with the first major card update that's coming out in 2017, this is the release after the Mean Streets of Gadget Zan. That's when we'll see the rotation event occur, which will mark the end of the Year of the Kraken. And we'll see the release of a whole bunch of new cards. We think it'll be one of the most exciting times in Hearthstone because you'll have a chance to really sort of see a bunch of new cards come in, have a big impact on the meta. So we're really looking forward to that as well.
One of the questions I've been seeing a lot on social media had to do with the year of the next one. Are you guys planning to keep it on this cycle, or will the next year of have a shorter cycle to sync up with the beginning of a year?
You know, in general, we want to keep it pretty consistent. We want all of our players to sort of know more or less where this is going to be landing. So it'll be about another year, and so you can generally expect that sometime around the first quarter of the year is when the rotation event will be happening every year.
That's awesome.
So do you guys find it hard putting out so many new cards? I mean, at a certain point, like I look at Heroes and I'm like, wow, they just put out characters. At a certain point with cards, you guys have put out so many cards. Is that difficult for you guys to figure out when to release, how to release, how many to release?
You know, it has been a pretty big challenge. You know, we've grown the team a lot for Hearthstone over the last couple of years. You know, we were a very small team. Now we're a little over 70 developers kind of working on the team. You know, we're kind of looking a lot further out. So we basically have the Mean Streets of Gadget Zan, and then we have kind of looking at the next couple after that. But I think we have an incredible team. We have amazing artists, amazing designers, engineers, and producers who are all working on this stuff. And I think that enables us to have a little bit more lead time, and that lets us do some of these really cool concepts that we might not have been able to do in the past.
Yeah, absolutely. When you guys are thinking, you know, one of my favorite things about Hearthstone is the flavor text. on the cards. Is there any chance that while we're playing and a card comes up, that flavor text could be seen a little bit more?
User joined your
It's a
channel.
good question. I mean, and we actually have gotten that request as
User
well.
disconnected
The
from your
challenge with that is
channel.
always just make sure we keep the UI
What
as
a
clean
nice
as
guy
possible
who
in the
comes
game.
to say goodnight.
So we don't have any specific plans to kind of tie that back into the game as the game is going on. But we agree.
So clever.
We love the flavor text as well, and want to. If there's a way to get that more exposure, we'd love to do that.
Yeah, awesome. Absolutely.
That's fantastic. Yeah, I mean, I feel like this is one of those things where you have so much of an opportunity to really do the tongue-in-cheek, really bring
so
that
fun.
charm that appears in WoW sometimes under the skin. You know what I mean?
Totally.
You really get to bring it front and center, which is fantastic.
As we saw with Karazhan and now Mean Streets. So we're really...
Yeah, I mean, from a disco party to an old, like, 40s,
Champion,
like,
a
you know what I
great
mean? Like,
malevolence is risen.
Throwback noir.
Gather your most powerful allies and meet the Cavaldir in battle.
Having fun with it, for sure.
That's fantastic. Well, thank you so much, Jason. So much great new stuff this year. While we say goodbye to you, let's take a look back at the Hearthstone year in review.
Thank you.
This year marked the beginning of our new Hearthstone Zodiac with the Year of the Kraken.
Yeah, and the release of the Wild standard format. You know, for new players coming into Hearthstone, it was always going to be an issue, I think, if we just kept releasing expansions forever. This new format, standard, makes it much more accessible to new players. Gives us the ability to really change the meta dramatically every year.
Yeah, and I think it really kind of represents a really long thing that we've been working on for a while on the Hearthstone team. And overall, I think it's a great way to be looking at the future of Hearthstone, have different ways to play depending on how you want to engage with the game.
The beginning of the Year of the Kraken started with a new expansion.
Whispers of the old gods.
Whispers of the Old Gods had 134 new cards, including the film that came out totally.
I don't have a target. I need to target something
We
first.
saw a ton of really cool Death Rattle type decks coming out with N'Zoth and some of the changes to the meta coming out of that one.
I don't have a
It's actually
target.
the first time fans of Warcraft got to see N'Zoth in a visual representation. It'd only been
I
heard of
need
in
to
stories
target
before
something
that.
first.
Then the
I
real
need
big
to get
question
closer.
becomes, after you've defeated the old gods, after you've kind of made it through a lot of the biggest challenges we've had in Hearthstone's history, what do you do next?
Their souls.
Well,
I
the answer is
commend
party.
your bravery,
It's time to get down with the deed. We announced one night in Karazhan earlier this year.
I know that a lot of the people in the community were expecting to have kind of an awesome 80s, 70s disco party in Karazhan. So I was going to be fulfilled on that fantasy that was already there.
Yeah, because there was an opera house, there was a ballroom. Clearly people were getting down in Karazhan. Hearthstone finally got to tell those stories. This year we rebranded our World Championship into the Hearthstone Championship Tour. This was also the first time we got to see the standard format in action. The whole Hearthstone Championship Tour got to use this new, exciting format.
Yeah, and we did things a little bit differently this year. If you remember, we had basically had championships happening within all of our regions. So we had our top players from the Americas coming, our top players from Europe, our top players from Asia Pacific. They're all competing in their local areas and then kind of coming to converge here at BlizzCon.
This has been an incredible year for
There are
Hearthstone,
those among
but
the
I am
Valkyries who
even
wish
more
to test
excited
you
for
in
the next
single
year. We start off with
Go to Skull
Mean Streets of
Machine
Gadgetzan.
and
Yeah, and
face
this is
them
such
in
an awesome
battle.
expansion. Like, so
None
you
shall
take,
attack
we've
until
seen
you
Gadgetzan in the
strike
past,
first.
but you've never really seen the underworld.
And there's a lot more to come. This is just the beginning. Stay tuned for more Hearthstone.
I can't attack that. I can't attack that target. I can't attack that.
Such a great
I
year
can't
from
attack that
Hearthstone. As a Hearthstone
I
player
can't
myself,
attack that.
it's
I
just
can't
exciting to
attack
watch
that.
and see how far
I
it's
can't
come.
attack
Yeah,
that.
I mean, you think about what was announced last
I
year
can't
at
attack that
BlizzCon.
target.
I mean, to me, it really just started me on a path of playing the hell out of it.
Right?
You know what I mean?
I know. And up next we're about to be talking about Overwatch. We're going to use the Overwatch panel next.
So much to talk about.
Yeah.
So much information to pass out.
Sombra, finally, we've got Sombra.
Yeah, and I mean,
Finally.
are we going to see gameplay of Sombra? I mean,
I hope
they
so.
say she's playable here. I can't imagine that we wouldn't see
Yes.
gameplay, but we don't really know tons. There's a couple hints in there as far as what we saw in the animated short, which, by the way, those animated
Killer.
shorts are amazing.
Right? I want an Overwatch animated series personally.
I think
That's
you could
just,
easily
it's so
get that.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like what we saw, one of her, she had like a teleport where she threw it down, went and talked to the woman in charge of Volskaya, and then just teleported back out. So she's got this really cool little ability for one.
And they had her controlling that big giant hand. So the question is, obviously she can hack things, but to what extent does that mean in the game? I mean, when I even say like, yeah, she hacks things, that doesn't, I mean, there's so many options.
What does that hero kit
What
look
does that
like?
hero kit look like?
Yeah,
Exactly.
absolutely. And also thinking about like where the new maps are going to be going as well. We've done a lot of design, and I love Sombra's design.
Oh, it's amazing.
Maybe it's just because the purple hair.
There you go.
I don't know.
You got to rock the Sombra hair, man.
Maybe tomorrow.
We'll call it a sombrero. I don't know why I keep saying sombreros. That's so stupid. So the other thing that they teased, which I'm very excited about, is the arcade mode.
Oh, yeah,
you know what I mean?
absolutely.
Like what they're going to do with their brawl section now and how that's going to become the arcade mode. They teased the fact that there was going to be 1v1 and 3v3 with the Echo Station something map. Maze place. So it's very interesting to see what does that mean? How are we going to do? Like, how is that going to happen? Is it going to change every week like the brawl does? What is that whole thing?
Absolutely. And
lots of stuff.
I think one of the biggest things I want to find out about as well is the Overwatch League.
Oh my God,
so much information in there about how there's a top guide and how they're recruiting players and they're going to be treating players fairly, and it's so important. There's a company who, like Blizzard, is just taking charge of that and changing esports, kind of wrangling in the whole Wild West mentality.
So look at that Sombra cosplay.
Oh, wow.
How did she know? That is gorgeous.
She know? I mean, wow.
Yeah,
and
there's
she
a lot of
perfect.
I know she nailed it.
I think she's actually right behind us. If she's over at the
that would be
races.
amazing.
Yeah.
That would be amazing.
I love her hair, how she did it on the side. Oh, she looks perfect.
Yeah, I'm Mike, who was up here, Morheim, was talking about the fact that they have the opportunity to really build this esports league from the ground up on a non-legacy game. You know, they don't have to worry about the entrenched. And other people have been already playing it in esports and all this other stuff. They get this opportunity to be like, look, let's make this the way you would make it from the ground up at the beginning without having to worry about these sort of legacy ties.
Yeah.
And I think that's really cool.
And I like how they're taking traditional sports as a model.
Yeah.
And they're looking at that going, okay, football in like the early, 40s or whatnot, it was not put together at all. There were no leagues. There wasn't. So it's still finding itself esports. Here in North America at least, it's still trying to figure itself out. So I can't wait for this to get started.
Yeah.
I want to see what the recruitment process is going to look like.
Yep. How many teams? Where are the teams going to be yet? Or at least I don't know. I mean, maybe they've talked about it, but it seems like I haven't got that information yet.
How many did you have?
Also, like you look at that arena. Like I want to be able to break away from here. I mean, we got lots of work to do, doing 10 hours of television today for you guys. But I would love to get a seat in that arena and watch some maps or matches because it just looks so intense.
And just imagine that could be in cities all over the country.
It's crazy.
It's just amazing. But you guys, we are getting ready for our next panel. It's just amazing. But you guys, we are getting ready for our next panel, Overwatch What's New. Before we get there, let's take a look back about where we've been and where we're going in the world of Overwatch.
You could totally feel it amongst the team that there was just like a tangible excitement about what was about to go down.
Not only amongst the team, but I went across the entire company.
There's a bunch of us that were in the room, like looking at stats as open beta went live.
Playing like this thing that we've been creating for a couple years.
It was nice to see some new faces, some new players.
Having the public play gave us like the best perspective.
The community's like helped us make this.
Public play gave us like the best perspective.
The community's like helped us make this game in a lot of ways.
People are so good at looking at our work and critiquing it.
And they also come in with such a fresh set of eyes. Like we've been so looking at some of this stuff for like 2 years.
And then after we launched the game, we had like the team as a whole. We gotta find out our new cadence. How are we gonna support a live game?
But we could see kind of the friction that was developing among players. You had some folks who just wanted to play with Overwatch as a toy, and then you had some folks who really wanted to play Overwatch to win.
Season 1 actually really helped us work out what competitive meant to Overwatch.
Use it as a way to keep players engaged, get like worth their time and fun.
We really want to see Overwatch succeed as an esport, and I think that we can really do some different and unique things with Overwatch that we perhaps haven't seen with other esports.
Yeah, the whole team is committed to esports and making it happen in the best way that we know how to do it.
The Overwatch League is just so many unknowns and so much potential and so much excitement.
It's just like such an amazing
The
feeling
hand of
to see
Argus stands
something
with
that
you.
you
It is
worked on
always
like
darkest,
slowly
just
becoming
before
an
the
actual
dawn.
sport. I mean, it's something very special.
We had a great response to get to do some more of those. We have tons of stories about the characters and the heroes and the places.
Nothing can hide
The
from
light
the
smites
light.
our foes.
I am the blade of the light.
I was getting kind of teary-eyed when I saw that.
Yeah, there really wasn't. It was emotional for everybody to see that kind of story being told without words.
And that was kind of the inspiration for Eichenwald. Like, we knew that we were going to have a setting around there, and it turned into like the idea for the theme of the map.
Nice.
We're trying to take people to more Azadi.
But they already they kind of said already what they are gonna do.
So the globe-trotting feel of the game is hopefully bigger.
Well, you missed it, I guess.
So like the direction for the Halloween stuff was like, I don't know, make it kind of like old horror noir.
I'm pretty sure you know about
And then we
Sombra.
could just go.
Everybody on our team is very much, what would make it even better? and from there, like, each of our events and heroes and maps and everything are like each of our events and heroes and maps and everything. We just add those little pieces of Blizzard love.
The team is fairly small and people are highly empowered, so it's really exciting to see just how much impact everyone can make.
You want to make sure that every single developer we trust to be a really, really talented game maker.
I've never had a team that was so in tune with what everybody is doing around them, and it's really a special experience.
Why what? Why?
Wow. Wow, wow. That was a big year for Overwatch. I mean, first off, it came out. It was
First and
it
foremost.
was released to the public. That was a big step.
Yeah.
But the fact that they got to 20 million players in 4 months.
We don't have
are you
any
kidding
women
me
in
with
the
that?
guild yet.
And I had so much fun during the Halloween event.
Oh, I know, right? Dr.
I mean,
Junkenstein?
and I got the Dr. Junkenstein skin.
You did?
Very excited. Yes, I was very lucky.
I got the Roadhog Frankenstein.
Oh,
Mhm.
we can play together.
No, I love it.
Yeah, I got that and the 76, the zombie 76.
Oh, I got that one too, actually.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
So
and the Mercy
speaking of
skin.
speaking of
Yeah, but
skins,
seriously, there are no raiders,
we got a question
right?
from
There are
Twitter
girls?
at Baldo Joshua asks, hey,
There are
if
no
you
raiders
guys were
that are
going to
girls.
cosplay as a Blizzard character, which one would you choose?
Any Blizzard character?
I think it's any Blizzard.
What did you think I was
character.
talking about?
Oh, wow. I would say,
Oh.
I'd have to go Sylvanas, let's be
Well,
honest.
yeah.
I'd have to go Sylvanas. I've never done it. I've always been slightly afraid to.
Yeah,
Because
I
I
get
feel like
that,
there's
I
an
get that.
expectation.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow. She was shit,
Yeah,
I'm guessing.
I think I would do Lady Sylvanas. How about you?
I'm gonna do a Pandaren rogue. Because they just look so silly in that like big,
Not
fat,
surprising.
sleek leather stuff. Like all that stuff is supposed to be really sleek leather stuff, but it doesn't work. All right, look, that will do it for us now because guess what? It's Sombra time. That's it, babies. Let's move over to Hall D for what is hopefully a bunch of details about the new characters, as well as everything that is coming new in Overwatch. We'll see you
Yeah,
on the outside.
generally girl gamers are really fucking bad.
Welcome to
But
the
only
Overwatch
generally.
What's
On
New
Overwatch,
panel.
one of the people I played a lot with, like partying, was a girl, and she was like top 100 EU. I don't know about it.
Happy BlizzCon, everybody. How you doing? Wow, there's so many people here. So, as you guys know, the top things that players want in Overwatch are new heroes, new maps, and new game
They're very
modes. So
rare.
it was really exciting for us when Mike in the opening ceremonies announced that we will have new maps, new game modes, and new heroes coming to Overwatch. So we're going to give you all the details here today. We're going to start by talking about the 23rd hero, the new hero Sombra. You're going to learn a ton about her. Then we're going to talk about that new feature, the arcade, a whole new way to play Overwatch. which has new game modes. And we will also talk about the 2 new maps that we're going to be bringing to Overwatch, which is Eco Point Antarctica, home base of May, and also the Oasis. But first, we should introduce ourselves. I'm Jeff. I'm one of the guys on the Overwatch team.
I'm Michael. I'm the lead writer on the Overwatch team. I'm Arnold. I'm one of the artists on the Overwatch team.
I'm Jeff. There we go. I'm Jeff. I'm lead hero designer on the team.
Everyone's getting legendaries,
All right, so let's get
man.
things started. Today we're going to be talking about our newest hero, Sombra, hero number 23. And you know, since we've started talking about Overwatch with all of you, I think we've gotten like one question more than any other. It's not about Torbjorn nerfs, not about Symmetra buffs, though you know I heard some stuff from Jeff about that. Yes, not about espresso machines. The question is, who is Sombra? And I thought maybe we would get the answer from Sombra herself.
Who is Sombra? To the system, she's nobody. She doesn't exist. No one remembers the girl. There were
By the way,
1,000
if
children
you
like
don't
her
mind
after
me
the war.
asking, do you guys have
None of them
more
could
than
hack
20
like
people
she
for
could.
raids? Like a lot more, or
And she learned that
almost
people
there?
were just as easily manipulated. Now she understood how the world worked. Information
Yeah, for sure, but
is
like,
power.
do you have something close
So
to
she kept
30 or
hacking
closer to 20?
politicians, corporations, governments. It was an addiction.
Oh, nice.
But for the first time, someone noticed her. When your hardware's obsolete, it's time to upgrade. The girl was gone, and Sombra was born. Now, I'm ready.
Wow, really? You guys aren't fucking around, yeah?
I'll find out who really runs the world. I'll find their weaknesses and how to exploit them. And when I do, I'll be the one pulling the strings. Who is Sombra? You'll never know. Adios.
So, Sombra is one of the world's most notorious hackers
it's
and a
okay, I
master
guess.
infiltrator.
Your server's
But
pretty
how
populated,
did the girl
though.
become Sombra? Well, the answer to that question, we have to look back to where she came from. Sombra was born 30 years ago.
It's one of the top
during
servers.
what the Mexicans refer to as La Medianoche, thanks to my 2 years of high school Spanish for that pronunciation. So, La
Yeah, but
Medianoche
fuck
is the
Kazakh,
phrase
man.
that
That
they
place
used
is
in Mexico to
toxic as
describe
shit.
the Omnic Crisis and the time that followed that. So for a quick recap of the Omnic Crisis, it is an event that took place across the
I
world where
purposely
robot
picked the
populations
server,
rebelled
by
against
the
the
way.
human
I
controllers.
didn't want to go to turn
So, you know,
Kazakh.
just keep that in mind next time you're
All the
logging
try-hard
your robot.
wannabes go to those
But
two
anyways,
servers.
Mexico really suffered a lot at the hands of the Omnics and the Omnic Crisis. The war destroyed much of the country's infrastructure. It resulted in a massive loss of life that created thousands of
And
orphans,
also
orphans
twisting
like
that
Sombra. So in this environment, Sombra had to do whatever she could to survive. Luckily, she had an ability. She was fantastic with computers.
Ilganov.
She could hack anything, and she could break into systems. So
Yeah,
she used
when
these
I
abilities
joined,
to steal money to get by,
I talked to
manipulate
Lusty,
the
I was
people who were
like,
trying to control her, and to make a life
why
for
did-
herself.
What?
Now, if you have abilities like that, you're bound to be of interest to
Did
people.
I ask both of
And
you, or was
a
it
young
you?
Sombra was taken in by the Los Muertos organization. Los Muertos is an interesting group in the Overwatch lore. You may remember them from the Soldier 76 animated short Hero.
Yeah.
They claim to be kind of
I
revolutionaries.
don't know, I either
fighting for
told
people
Lusty or
who were
you,
left
like
behind
why
in
it took
rebuilding
you
of
so
Mexico
long
after
to
the
kill
war.
Ilganov.
Whether or not that's, you know, really what they're up to, because they're also engaged
Was
in a
it
lot
Lusty
of other
or you?
kind of shady activities is kind of up to you to decide. But they took in a young Sombra, and
Yeah.
she basically honed her hacking abilities, working for them and helping them in their campaign against the Mexican government. And as a little sneak peek here, I can show you, this is one of Sombra's legendary skins. So this is what a young Sombra would have looked like as a member of Los Muertos.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
as a member of Los
At the
Muertos,
same, I actually
Sombra
I was talking about
she's
this, yeah.
hacking the Mexican
Like
government,
people
and
are saying, for
she just
example,
kept going
oh
deeper and
man,
deeper into
look
the
at this
world
rate
and executing
here.
more and more audacious
Progress
hacks.
is
And
only like
you know, it
24
wasn't just that she
hours.
was
What
good
the
at
fuck?
it. It's
This is
actually something in
bullshit. This is
personality.
not
Like
really
she
a
wants
race.
to do it. She,
And
you
at
know,
the
she
same
has this
time, I
thing where
tell
if
them,
there's a
yeah,
mystery,
but
she
at the
wants to
same
solve
time,
it.
it could
If
be
there's a
more
lock,
of
she wants
a
to break it.
challenge
And
race,
so she would
because if
investigate, you know,
if your rate fucks up
corporations, the
one time,
government,
you lose
famous
20
people.
ranks.
And in fact,
You know?
Sombra gave me a little hint today
Yeah,
that
exactly.
a very
So it's
important person in the
basically a
Overwatch
measurement
universe's
of your
birthday is
your
today.
raid's ability
And that's
to
Mr. Jeff Kaplan
stay
here, so I
focused
think,
for continuous hours and days and not fuck up.
happy birthday, Jeff. So, Sombra, while investigating
So it's a
the
different
Mexican
kind
government,
of race if
she
you think
stumbled
about
upon something. She found
it. It's
a
more of
conspiracy,
a
what she
race
believed to
where
be a conspiracy
fuck-ups are
that
more
was at the
punishing.
heart of a lot of the events that were taking place in the Overwatch universe. And obviously, with her curiosity, she wanted to know more about this. So she started investigating it. But the thing was, Sombra can be a little
Yeah,
overconfident,
definitely.
and she wasn't ready. And the conspiracy struck back. They found out who she was, and they went after her. Overnight, she had to go underground. She had to delete every trace of her existence and basically become a ghost. She spent years during this time. She was repairing herself, getting ready to strike back against that conspiracy. So, you know, she got these upgrades done to her, which you can see in her awesome art. She basically became the computer. She doesn't need a computer to hack anymore. You know, she has all sorts of upgrades. And with that, she became a much more capable hacker than she ever was, and that attracted new suitors. And in this case, it was the Talon organization, who could totally make use of one of the world's best hackers.
Fucking joke.
And so, as a member of Talon, she executed even more audacious hacks. I know, even more. She struck against corporations like Lumerico, Volskaya Industries, as you saw in the animated short this morning. And basically, you know, while she's currently
what's the problem
in
with
league
60
Talon,
anyways?
she's a really interesting character because, you know, she's really in it for herself. She wants to find out this conspiracy. She wants the power of this conspiracy for herself. And I think that it's something we'll see as we go throughout the story, what exactly Sombra's endgame is. And I guess I'd finish up by saying one thing that I think is really interesting about Sombra is, you know, we talk a lot about characters who have, you know, various motivations and, you know, they're sort of gray. Are they good? Are they evil? What do they really want? And I think Sombra's a perfect example of that. She's an awesome, unreliable narrator, perhaps the most unreliable narrator we have. But now I'd like to turn it over to a very reliable narrator, Mr. Arnold Singh.
Thanks, Mike.
Oh, I missed a slide.
Pleasantries can wait. All DL
Pay
shalom.
real close attention to this one. There might
Hello.
be some hidden clues, maybe. So I'm here to talk about
Seriously,
the
it's
art behind
basically
Sombra.
heroic
It's
Xavier,
the
so
awesome
you choosing
art
the dream.
by
It's
John
even easier
Polidoro.
than heroic.
But one of the things I really like showing when we talk about new heroes and just all the Overwatch heroes is some of the kind of the original art that kind of spawned the journey that led to the final design. With Sombra, we actually started working on it a long
that's
time
pretty
ago,
much
you know,
it.
back way before, before even like Hanzo and Genji. We had this
You know, the Fat
idea,
Boss
I
guy,
think Jeff had an idea called the Omni
the
Blade,
guys that
which
the
was like
Fat
this
Boss
throwing
YouTube channel
dagger,
does,
throwing
yeah?
star hero. And
They
we
were
did a sketch
talking
of
about
her,
how
and we thought it was really cool. Like she had all
when
these
they were
throwing
doing
daggers,
Xavier's
you
on
can see in the image
PTR,
there.
they looked
We
at
tried a couple of
the room
flavors
that he's in,
where, you know,
and they were like, oh, it's just PTR, it's probably just unfinished, you know? And then they released it, and it was the same.
As you can see, she's kind of this very agile, very stealthy hero. But they ended up stepping on some of the
it's nice, but
going to
the
some
joke
of,
that they
more
made
well-known
was
Shimano
that,
brother
I
heroes,
guess
right?
they forgot to finish Mythic Xavier's too.
This ability to throw, there you go. He's had
You
this
know?
ability to throw a dagger and it would reveal people, and you guys know that now as Hanzo's sonar arrow. So she was real early on, and she never really got past the paper design stage. Actually, she was just sort of, you know, one up and coming one that we're going to do. But once we started getting into the ninjas, they couldn't help but pillage some of those ideas and use them there.
Yeah, the Shimano Bro spoils everyone's fun.
That's the boss, guys.
So we ended up shelving that idea. But then there was a new idea that you guys had that was like a stealth
Seriously.
hacker. So we thought that
I hope, please Blizzard, please stop fucking tuning the game to casuals. I hope Trial of Valor takes like Method or some shit a week at least to clear.
I don't have a target. Idea of this Sombra character around that. And this is
I
a new
know,
concept that we came
but
up with
like I'm
that
hoping.
kind of fits into that. You can see kind of clues of how her suit kind of looks like her final design now, and those hacking tendrils.
Yeah, I know,
are
but I
also
don't want
very,
it to
a
just
very
be like
prominent
loot
part of
bosses,
her,
you
her
know?
look. One of the things that you'll notice
Like you
different
just
from this
go in
design
there and you
from
farm
her
them.
current design
Like,
is that
that's
she
so
has a hood
fucking
and
bored.
she has a
We do that
very
until
longer
Nightfall
coat.
comes out.
You might actually even recognize the silhouette of this image. We were doing this development of Sombra.
What,
at the
3
same
fucking
time
months,
as we
man?
were
What do you
doing
mean not
one of
long?
our other heroes, Ana. And Ana was also a hero that had a very had a silhouette that used a hood and a longer jacket. So we felt like because their silhouettes started getting very similar, we decided to steer Sombra a little bit further away from that, and that ended up with our concept for Sombra today. So this is the final concept of Sombra by Ben Zhang. Ben
We will
basically
persevere.
all of the concept art for Sombra, develop all the abilities and look for her. Again, like you can see, she still has that hack,
Yeah, we
suit,
should be able to do a lot of
camo
mythics
suit,
for
and also her
Warcraft.
hacking tendrils. And
I
the
have
hacking tendrils was one of the.
I have Court of
the-
Stars
it-
Mythic
it
level
was a
2,
very
by the way.
cool,
The
very
key.
cyberpunky aesthetic that the local
On my
really were
shaman,
excited
yeah.
about, but we were kind of uncertain how it would work with gameplay. But then concepts.
We can ask.
And here's an example of how we kind of developed the look of the hacking tendrils in a first-person kind of concept, and also a look at the concept for
Ask in guild chat.
for
I
Sombra's
guess
thermoptic camo,
people
which
will
is an ability
come
that
to you
allows her to be
or
stealth and
they will
totally
come to you.
unseen to the enemy, but allies still need to see her. So we had to come.
Yeah,
had to
but
come up
I'm
with
on
a
my
look
ult.
that allies could see.
They'll
you,
be
but you
scared
still
to
look
come,
stealth.
you know?
So that's where you see on the right side there.
Don't even tell them you're boosting and
In
just
addition to these
bring them.
concepts, we also developed. In addition to these concepts, we also
Yeah,
developed
exactly.
Sombra's kit even further. We knew that she'd be hacking a lot with her left hand, and here's an example of some of the more detailed concepts we do. All those
but
details work
like,
together.
if a
Also have
social
the
that you
concept
don't
of her
want
translocator,
to
which
come
some of you guys might
says
recognize
invite,
from
just
the
wait a
cinematic
bit
we
if no
just
one
showed,
comes and
and actually has a very familiar shape to it.
Yeah, let's just say that Winston and Tracer are not big fans of Sombra's work.
He hacks everything. Sombra also
Easy
has
game.
the machine pistol, which Jeff will
Yeah,
talk a little
last
bit more
boss,
about on the gameplay
reincarnation
side, but
combat.
on the art side, we're really excited to have this type of weapon because the SMG kind of
Our
machine
enemies
pistol
will fall.
look was very resonated
What-
a lot with the kind of
what's 5 seconds?
cyberpunk theme, and also
Yeah.
worked really well gameplay-wise. One of the things, very interesting things we tried.
No,
with the
don't
machine
worry,
pistol was to get the
I'm
ammo
not a
counter
retard, I'll play
have a very
safe.
specific look to it. You know,
And it's only +2, man. Like, you just need one good DPS and you'll carry it.
But it got a little bit with like a hexadecimal counter. And I'm not a programmer, so I don't know. I have no idea what it means, but I think it looks really cool. It kind of speaks to her hacker theme. So in addition to these concepts, with new heroes, we
There's
always do
funks,
motion
funks,
studies,
fun,
movement
fun.
studies. And what these help us to do is kind of inform the animators and all the other developers on how the character moves, the kinds of poses they strike when they do their abilities. For example, here's Sombra kind of running around with her machine pistol, getting ready for EMP. So some of those poses really important in
You
developing
could.
poses really
I'm
important
gonna try
in
to
developing
find some
the
people
movement suite of the hero. And
Well met.
as kind of Mike teased earlier, the Los Muertos skin for Sombra, a concept by John Polidora.
Be careful.
Here's a sneak peek on for
Greetings.
Sombra's other legendary skin, the cyberspace skin. This one's by Jung Ali, and we love the cyberpunk aesthetic so much we wanted to double
with
down on
honor,
it and show an alternate take on how Sombra might look like in the Overwatch universe. So that's just a little bit of the art behind Sombra. So here talking about more of her abilities is Jeff Goodman.
What can I do for you? For the Alliance?
All right. So let's talk about some of our gameplay. So Arn and Mike showed you guys sort of or talked about a lot of the background of the story and the background of the art and how we got to where we are. I can let you guys know about sort of the background of her gameplay. As Arn mentioned, she kind of started as that super fast. She had like double jump and can throw knives really fast. And the original.
The Nightwell calls
originally we
to
were working
me.
on Genji, actually, as he mentioned, we were working on both
Suramar
brothers at the
must
same
be
time.
free.
And Genji's original design was super kind of slow stealth.
I'm out of range.
stealth up behind you and just one-shot you. You know, it's like that's sort of the what everyone expects. It's not really that fun, as it turns out. We got a lot of interesting feedback from people.
Our isolation has
all right, well, maybe we
ended.
need to go another direction here. So we sort of
The
decided that, you know, another really cool
will
fantasy for
be
Genji,
redeemed.
what we sort of had originally planned for Sombra, really fast, could get in, get out, throwing projectiles, things like that. It worked out really well for him. So it sort of ended up shelving the concept of Sombra for a while. But we really liked the concept and some of the original abilities still. So we sort of knew we would want to come back to it at some point. And especially we know that like stealth is a really fun mechanic. A lot of people really like it in games. So we wanted to try to revisit it, even though it didn't work out the first time we tried it. So we sort of built her with the idea that, well, if we're going to start with a stealth character and we don't want her to be terrible to play against, what does that mean? So we thought, well, the biggest thing, she's not going to be as lethal as, you know, a Reaper up close or a Tracer up close or something. She can't have that, but she can have other tools that an infiltrator type character would love to have. So I'll show you guys exactly what her kit is and break it down here for you guys. So she has this machine pistol. Pretty basic weapon. It's sort of similar to Tracer's weapons in a way. The big difference is it doesn't do as much.
Yeah, this guy was a friend from Overwatch. He used to be on one of the top Overwatch teams in the world.
She can actually hold down the button for quite a while. So in a way, she can kind of, when she's back infiltrating the enemy lines back behind people, she can poke at people and try to take out people who are low health and get away. She's extremely evasive. Her alternate fire is the ability to hack, of course. Wouldn't be a very good hacker if she couldn't hack anything. So first thing she can do, she can hack players. She can hack a couple different things. She can hack players, health packs, as you can see here, and she can hack...
No, we need healer.
Yes. Player, it disables their abilities for a little while. It doesn't disable their weapons.
I need to get male people,
like
man. For fuck's sake, no one's male.
So we haven't done that kind of thing before. It's interesting because it's kind of asymmetric. Like,
What are you hiding?
Oh, excuse me.
Oh, right, it's devastating. So picking your target when the time is hack is good. If you hack a health pack, you see there she gets a little hack symbol above it, and you're sort of blocking up the health pack for your team, so the enemy team can't pick it up anymore. And it lasts quite a while, so she can go around the map and sort of lay the groundwork for your team while you're behind the enemy lines. It also makes them respawn much faster, and she actually gets heal credit for it, which is kind of awesome. I've gotten like silver medal before healing with her. It's awesome. If you can hack a Torbjorn turret, it doesn't destroy it or convert it or anything. It stuns it for quite a while. So if it's shooting somebody and you get back there, and you can hack it. Your team can run in, and you don't have to worry about the turret anymore. It's gonna be shut down. It's really good. I know that a lot of people don't like Torbjorns. There you go. Her first ability is called Thermoptic Camo. It's a stealth ability, as you might expect. Probably seen it a bunch of times now in all these videos.
They can't join.
It makes you completely invisible to the enemy. That's a question you sort of get real early often.
Yeah.
Can you see a shimmer or anything
I'm
like that?
forcing him to come. He didn't even say if he wants to
completely
come.
Gone. Your team can see her all the time, which is what you see in this video. That's what she looks like to your team. If you take damage at all during this, it breaks you out.
I need
mail,
man.
Into the front lines and hit the choke points from Junkrat spamming his bombs, like that. It's not gonna end well for you. But she is about infiltration, so then you're thinking, well, if I can't stealth the choke, how do I get there? And that brings me to the next ability, which is the Translocator. This ability is almost more marquee than stealth. This ability is extremely flexible. You can throw it like a grenade. You can throw it really far, actually, and it will stick to the ground. And it lasts for, I think, 15 seconds right now. It's quite a long time. And at any time later, within that 15-second window, you can hit the button. Obviously, you can use it, just throw it over a wall and teleport to it, because you can teleport to it and it's in the air, too. So that's super fast. But the other thing you can do is if once you're already behind enemy lines and kind of messing with people or hacking health packs, you can throw it somewhere safe where they don't even know where it is and go try to shoot people or hack things or be aggressive, and then you always have that like escape window almost like a tracer and escape back to that. And the cooldown's really short, so you always want to have your backup plan in place where you want it. These two abilities combined, the stealth and the translocator, make her extremely hard to catch, hard to pin down. Her ultimate ability is called EMP. It's this, you guys have seen this in some of the videos, it's like a giant explosion. It doesn't actually do any raw damage though. First thing it does is it applies hack to everybody.
Wait, I need the male comrade.
What normal alternate fire does, we can hack everything. You can see that even the turret there, it'll shut
I need shaman, rest of shaman.
Everything. So it's like a really fast way, because normally the hack is
we find the rest of shaman.
You just instantly hit everybody with that and silence everybody, right? They can't use any of their abilities. But also, if you notice in this video,
Bumbo already knows this. Like I told him, I don't want to, literally.
And all shields. So that means
I did black or cold with it, man. Like fucking 3 plate drops for boom.
Kind of does do damage to them because it takes a chunk of their health.
Fucking vendor.
Represented by shields for those characters. Also, it's amazing for Lucio's ult, obviously, because it's just like this big shield buffer, and she just takes it all out if you time that right. So that's it. She has one other ability, which is her passive ability.
I need people like excuse fucking 880 male.
She automatically
easy gear.
through walls that are less than half health. So she's not
This ult has to
necessarily
be
super
ready
good
for
at just,
split
like,
runs
Tracer
next
running
week.
up and just killing somebody. But if you're low health, you know that she's looking at you and she can see you. And then you run for that health pack, and the health pack's hacked. It's like a horror movie. You're just like, oh god, she's got to be.
Oh
here.
yeah, for sure.
It's super fun to
if we don't find one, we'll just take longer.
So that was sort of just a breakdown of like her abilities one by one. We have actually a video to show you kind of what it all looks like when it's put together.
Unauthorized person detected. If you hold the information, you hold all the cards. Hack complete.
Yeah, but I need to be #1 DPS.
They're over here.
With elemental shaman, easy game.
Drop the beat. EMP activated. Bet you didn't see that coming. Hacking the turret.
I need healing.
Back into the shadows. Adios.
That Lucio is so bummed he blew his ult right there.
He was already on the forums.
That's a forum post right there. Like, Lucio mains. Why, Blizz? So, that was Sombra. We want to talk about the other features we added. We're going to start with the arcade.
This guy, man, he was fucking god on Widowmaker. You ever watch those montage videos of Widowmaker doing epic shit?
Which a lot of people really like.
If you've ever seen any of them, probably most of them is from him.
Arcade is a new place, so you'll go to the play menu. You guys recognize this. This is the play menu, and now instead of weekly brawl, you're going to see something called arcade, and it looks like this. So now there are a lot of new ways to play the game.
Witness the power.
Really interacting a lot with the community and listening to what you guys had to say. And we kept hearing like this desire for new game modes, which was tricky for us.
No one wants to answer me. No one wants to help.
If we introduce the wrong type of game modes, it really
I have like 4 Resto Shamans online.
At the same time, we were hearing the feedback that our weekly brawl didn't have enough oomph to it, and that you also really wanted a reward for the weekly brawl.
We are
so we sort of undone the whole thing, rethought about it, and created this area now of Overwatch called the Arcade, which we plan to curate over time. So I don't know if that means that, you know, every month we're going to change it, or every 2 months. It's one of the things that we're going to figure out along with you guys, seeing what you respond to, seeing what you're playing a lot. You know, should certain things be featured more? Are certain things not getting much play? Should we segue them out? But let's start with the rewards. So when we introduce a new game mode, we're going to be able to give you a single one-time loot box reward just for playing and winning the game mode. So now you have a motivation. When we add something new, you can go, you know, get that loot box. I'm sure there's no duplicates in it, so it will be awesome. It's going to be the best one. Make sure you fraps it when you open it. Then after that, we added, so the request that kept coming that we would hear very frequently is, please, for the weekly brawl, give us a loot box each time we played and won the weekly brawl. But what's better than 1 loot box? 3 loot boxes, yeah. Well, actually 2 is mathematically better, awesome. But so we added a weekly reward system to the arcade, and the way this works is, if you play 3 matches and win, you have to win, you will get a loot box. You can do that again, rinse, repeat, up to 3 loot boxes, and then it goes on cooldown for the week. So each week you can get 3 loot boxes. The time resets for everybody at the exact same time. We promise it won't happen an hour early. Don't be mad. But that's the reward system. The other cool thing about this is we designed it in such a way that rather than forcing you to play a particular mode of the arcade, we allow you to pick whatever you like in the arcade. So you can get those 9 wins all in the same mode if that's what's fun for you, or you can hop around to different modes. It's really your choice. So the new modes, we're going to start with one of my favorites. It's called Mystery Duel. It's a mystery.
That's all we have to say.
We're not going to talk.
You guys can figure it out.
And moving on to the next one. Yeah. So Mystery Duel. So we wanted to add, we've run into this thing, and I'm sure you guys have run into it too, like you play a match against somebody or somebody on your team or other team, and you have that like, come on, dude, let's 1v1. Let's figure this out, you know? And, you know, also, I know there's a lot of people who are upset at the matchmaker or they blame their team. I'm in Elo hell and my teammates, I am the world's best Genji, but my teammates are terrible. They're holding me back. Well, for you, we have Mystery Duel because it's just up to you to win or lose on your own. So, so the way Mystery Duel works is it's actually a best of 9. So whichever person gets to 5 wins first will win the whole thing. And each round, the game randomly selects a hero. So it might be Junkrat, it might be Widowmaker, it might be 76, but you and your opponent have to play the same hero. So it's perfectly matched, evenly fair. I'm sure somebody's going to find a way to find one side to be overpowered in it, but
Symmetra is strangely fun in this mode. I don't know how that worked out.
Like, by the way, do you mind getting my friend into TC?
Somehow. You guys will figure out a way. I know it'll happen. So to play these, to play 1v1, like, you know, we started fooling around with this idea, and at first we didn't know what maps it would work on. We were trying it on some of our assault maps.
User joined your channel.
Hello.
Bumbo.
Hello. I'm sincerely sorry that I'm not a shaman.
Bumbo, why you not have shaman out? Tell me, please.
User joined your channel.
No. You don't want to know.
Explain to me, блядь, why you no rest to shaman?
I really I really dislike the shaman gameplay.
You can cast while moving. How you not like?
I don't know.
Oh my god, you're not good. Not good. No. Yeah.
Good. Exactly.
Look my transmog, yes?
You look like a clown, man. Yeah.
I have no fucking idea, it's just random gear I have on.
Looks like shit, to be honest. Oh yeah, that does look like a clown. Yeah.
Wow, Bumbo. Good input to conversation, bля. I don't know, he's not answering.
Well, he's not AFK.
Did he get any legendaries? Wow, fucking scrub, no legendaries.
Like an evil clown.
Excuse me?
Excuse me? Hair, yeah. Like, I don't know, like a clown you wouldn't want to mess with.
Oh, okay. That's fine. Wow, you giving me some pussy to lick?
Teabagging you, man. Yeah.
Talk to me. Keep it real.
This is gonna be +2?
What was the password? I forgot.
Okay.
Like
Yeah,
that,
yeah.
right?
Yep.
I also know a Russian curse word.
Иди нахуй, долбоёб! That's I had once like a Russian Ukrainian girlfriend, and that's all she used to tell me. Fucking иди нахуй.
Нахуй.
Yeah.
Just иди нахуй all fucking day.
User joined your channel.
Hello.
Oh, Bucky.
Hey.
What's up, guys?
You ready to boost me, comrade?
Yeah, as usual.
You give me all loot, even if 895. You understand?
If I can trade it,
That
why
won't
not?
be possible.
I don't care what is possible. I see 895 socket, you give it to me. What you see?
I need to get closer.
Slow.
Buckley, where is legendary? Your casual?
Man, I'm just unlucky.
What unlucky?
I farmed as
arrival
fuck
is
and
fortuitous.
nothing. Like for
Tonight the nobles have
more
gathered
than
in
2
honor of
days.
the Grand Magistrates.
Like 10 hours a day. Farming keys, shit. Still nothing, man.
You just
Our
need to
spies
be
report
good at the
that
game.
Alisande
Like
herself
if
will
you weren't
attend.
so bad, you
This
get easy
presents an
legendaries.
opportunity to catch her away from her source of power.
What? That's true, man. Like I'm so good at the game, I got
We'll
all
take a side
legendaries
entrance
easy.
to the grounds. Too many
Yeah.
eyes are watching the front.
Yeah. Long time ago. Yeah.
This is your best
Yeah.
chance to eliminate the Grand Magistrates.
Where did you die?
Good
I,
luck.
he doesn't have bracers, okay? I have bracers.
Yeah, bracers are like, you need to call to your healers some cooldowns.
We
The
don't have
beginning.
Holy
It seems
Paladin
the
because
Dust
they're
Watch are
fucking
charged
healing
with
Drake.
keeping order during
guys.
the
Druid.
party.
Where is the fucking
Might
druid?
I suggest the hidden approach?
Druid?
Yeah.
I need burst healing to keep me alive.
Along the way,
Pull the
Now?
fucking iron
disable
bark,
the
bro.
arcane beacons and keep the sentries from raising
Out
the
of
alarm.
range.
And during progress, I had the monk cooldown for me.
You listening, Xander? You taking good information in?
Mindful, guys.
It's too far away.
Yeah, fuck that shit.
I'm out of range.
So it's not my fault I die on snares. You want me to start screaming on raid when I'm trial? Okay, next time I'll do it. If someone complains, I'll tell them Xander told me.
Oh shit.
I don't have a target. I need to get closer. I'm out of range.
Oh my god, dog 50%
Yeah.
HP.
Me too.
But they're cats.
Eh?
I said dog. Oh, by the way, Buckley, I can dispel it too, but I don't spell steal it. So
You wanna
fuck
go do it?
I stole it, so I don't care.
Okay, I'm going.
I'm faster than
Next
you.
time you won't take it.
Sure.
Did you take it?
Yeah.
This guy is spamming it like fuck.
You can play fast now when he comes around.
You want?
Hmm?
No trespassers allowed!
I'll DPS for a bit.
There, go ham. Yeah.
I need reinforcements!
Jump.
This will even the odds.
Run.
What the fuck? He's dead. No need flask. Kill him. Your shaman doing so much damage. What the fuck? I didn't do shit.
Cowards!
Wasn't doing that much now.
How did I do only 60k? What?
Professional player.
Man. Man, I swear I did everything perfect. What the fuck?
I believe you.
85k.
Man, stupid fucking
It's
class.
because we didn't
But
leave combat, so
look at in the bright side. You almost did half as what I did.
Wait. Let's see boss damage.
Watch out up here. I've heard tales of
Wow,
that draw strength.
Stop clicking your spell, man.
Spawn must
Wait. I see boss damage. 11 million.
explore the area and
13
find a way
million?
to separate the council members. Divided.
Oh,
they
I did
cannot
3
stand
million.
against you.
That's a start.
Go, I do big DPS.
I'm out of range.
But I did 200k, it's very good. Go from the back.
Yeah.
Here. 1.3 million HP leading dungeon. Yeah. No, you don't do this. I will die in one skill. Oh my god. Oh my god.
The fires will come for you!
Wanna do imps?
Oh, big.
Make yourself
I
useful
stunned.
and take a look around.
5 seconds stun. You see
fuck?
how good the
Everyone
element?
trinkets.
I need to target something first.
Look what I do also. Oh my god, so good.
Or the B, bro. Casting lava spell. Tiny kill.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm alchemist.
Oh yeah, I have Fury.
But you can pull some trash in the same time as the
Thank
mini
you,
boss. It's
too.
okay.
I need a target.
What are you waiting for? Check out that noise.
Oh, boom. Very confident in your healing skills, I see.
I'm learning from you.
You're what? You're learning?
I'm learning from you.
Oh, I'm very grateful to have such great students.
It's too far away. I'm out of range.
Buckley, when we play Overwatch?
Like, I don't know, man. When are you up to?
I need someone to boost me. Solo queue too hard combo.
Boost you?
I played with a friend, like, but we did like 2-2. was completely
You
useless.
need me to carry you, comrade.
Yeah, almost.
I go, I take, I do some hello,
Monkey
hello,
play.
easy game.
Monkey plays.
It's too far away. I don't have a target.
What was the
on the sign?
what was your rating when you got your thing?
What?
Oh yeah, it was shit. Did you play after we played last time?
No. Still like
Oh my god.
3.1 or 3.2.
Maybe we can't play with each other anymore.
Target something first.
I'm not sure, man.
Because you can only play 500 skill rating difference.
Yeah, and what are you now?
I don't have a target.
I can't remember. It's 3.5, 6, 7, 8. I don't remember.
Oh. You played a lot if you're 3.8 now.
I played like 2-3 games last few days. One sec, phone call.
I need to get closer.
Alright.
Who needs henchmen? I'll burn you myself. Mortal flesh, so pretty when it burns.
Don't move, don't move. Fuck! Fucked up. Fucking bloodless. We fucked up so much because of the bloodless.
Mortal flesh.
Ah, almost.
Good day, glorious.
You've done well so far, claim that but we must ensure you
Going top
attend this
left.
party. I'll enhance your disguise, infuse with chatty latent magic
Loves
to make you appear as one of the nobles. Just avoid
The guy
drawing
loves to
attention to
read
yourself with
with stories
wild
around at least one book.
Fire! What the fuck are you doing?
Seems like it.
Why is he following me? Oh.
Oh, nice. Easy. Maybe. He's lucky.
I can hop them.
Yeah. You should.
I think at least slicing icon thingy. I don't know the name.
I think it is actually.
If it does, it's because of the 25% maximum health.
I'm not gonna get bloodlust. Fuck.
Ritz, where are you?
I don't have a target.
Excellent.
Look at
Now you
this.
have the key. The way to
Look
the
at my
balcony should
fireball
be
damage.
open. It's time to put an end to Elisand.
Must you leave so soon, Grand Magistrix?
Holy fuck, man.
Do you
3
expect me to
pyroblast,
waste
no
time
crit.
chattering with vapid nobles even as my enemies close in? Look there, you fool. We are not alone.
Impossible. My guards would never permit such an intrusion.
Yet another failure, Melandris. Consider this your chance to correct
I'll
it.
deep too.
Dispose of these outsiders.
Yeah.
I must return to the Nighthold.
Finally, I'll make this quick. The wind slices to the bone. Bleed for the Grand Magistrix.
I know procs, man.
The wind slices to the bone.
I know crit, man.
I will speed you towards your demise. I need to target you first.
Come on, legendary ring, man.
We may have missed our chance at the Grand
Oh
Magistrates
fuck,
tonight.
inventory is full.
But her
I have
time
something
will
for you,
He's gonna
man.
play. He's gonna bleed
Sooner or
be
later,
glad.
we'll find another way to settle the score.
Look at this. Look
It's
at this.
not ready yet.
Theoretically, it's actually an upgrade for me.
Oh shit. Damn that cloak. No. Fucking sucks ass, man. Yeah. You have to do more dungeons and shit. Like more and Halls of Valor and shit. Yeah. So what key did you get, man?
Pack, but she can hack health packs, and it's really...
Oh shit. Yeah, you wanna do that as well? More 5?
Oh.
It's only 5.
I guess just need to be careful how you AoE down.
Yeah.
Greetings. Be careful.
I guess we could do like 2 pulls in the beginning. So it's coming. Both of you. Okay. Yeah.
Whoa, protection paladins also do a lot of damage.
Yeah, it's fucking insane.
Uh,
Paladins are broken at the moment.
Avengers shield 1.24 million. Dang, awesome.
When they can pull like 400-500k on pull.
Yep.
Yeah, I guess it does, yeah. No, okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Bubble.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Oh, yeah. Fuck, man.
Oh, thanks, CP.
Yeah, I got like half an hour left. Gonna watch BlizzCon.
I have many wares.
No.
I have many lucky doos. You like?
I wanna do 2, I think.
Yeah, it's safer.
Like, and the birds and
we
the
did up
rest
to 7 with last stick in downtime, and we did multiple pulls, and time-wise it was just fine. Of course, like, we had more gear overall in the group, but...
I'm out of range.
You want that guy?
I need to get closer.
Yeah.
Oh, awesome, we stunned. Super hug.
It's still recharging.
As long as like everything dies at the same time, the ball string doesn't do anything.
Saving stun when one dies. No.
Your souls will drift for eternity in the tides of the
My DPS is so shit. What the hell?
Another drop in the sea of soul.
Ooh, shit.
It's too far away.
Good news, we survived. Bad news, I can DPS on boss good now.
I can.
It's too far away.
So it's worth it.
Let me bloodless, please.
Yeah.
Mortals, I fell to your wretched kind once
before. Just came back up.
It will not happen again.
Oh, fuck me. Okay, get things.
Know the bitter chill of death as I have. The shadows of the underworld bend.
You got a good legendary? Oh. I got the poop ring.
Flee, cowards! The shadows of Helheim cut deeper there. Know the bitter chill of death as I have. You have not won. You have only secured your own doom.
Okay, I have combustion.
Okay. I hate this room here.
I need to get closer.
Oh shit.
Fire's gonna die.
And he's buffed. Okay.
Hard.
No, don't heal fire. It's gonna die anyways. Sorry, bro.
Oh yeah, the reduced HP of him.
Yeah.
There will be another one?
Mm-hmm.
I need to get closer.
He's dead again. Oh, poor guy. Yeah. Right, I'm gonna do some cleave. Sorry.
Same. Won't put healing bomb but...
Basically have to fight my sums, right?
Don't, oh yeah, but you have to time it. I guess don't kill dogs before the giant is really low. You're out of line of sight. No, the boosty.
Good work, man.
The D-sucker.
The clown.
I have silence to him. The boss? Oh, sure, okay. I have the disorient too.
I can kick oh. Sorry.
I'll have DPS for the boss now.
Good. Me too.
I need to target something first.
Run, bitches. Yeah.
The spirits grow hungry from the scent of blood.
And someone bloodless?
Yeah.
All who enter Helheim must pay the blood price. Resist if you wish. In the end, I always get my payment. If I cannot bleed the payment from you, the spirits will. The flesh burdens the soul. A new that must be flayed from your bones. Arise, servitor. Claim our blood.
And he's dead.
You must pay the blood price.
Man, what is this shit boost group? How you let me die?
Shut up, if you die it's because you're a scrub.
Yeah.
No?
You want
If
to
I
stay
die
alive?
it means Boom Boo not doing job.
I'm sorry.
And also where is sacrifice Zender? Oh, really? Oh,
Okay.
good comrade.
We kill fear?
Yeah. Well, I'm cleaving, but yeah.
I need a target.
Could have died in this. And he didn't get the buff because you were away.
Did I get any items last run? I was so...
Yeah,
You got a fucking item for cloak.
What the fuck? 875?
Yeah. I got lucky for you, man.
Oh, thank you, sir.
Got it. Got a cooldown, by the way.
Balance it.
That was like the most hectic phone call, man.
Sure. I think we need the other healer champion as well.
And yeah, Xander, I was talking to Arab Prince, man. but soon.
I don't have a target.
What is this DPS? This boost group is so good. Oh.
Yeah, you know it.
It's too bad. I make you look like little babies on my main.
Yeah, I can do it.
It's too far away.
That's what I call balance.
Yeah.
Secure the Naglfar! No prey, no pay! Now secure the Naglfar! All hands on deck! Destroy these landlubbers! No prey, no pay! Now secure the Naglfar! Nothing sweeter than to die at sea!
Woohoo!
Don't hit the central one, please.
It's okay.
The middle one. I'm going to kill it.
Won't we use cooldown on the boss either way?
Spread ignite.
Okay, I'll kill the left one.
Don't worry, don't worry.
You have come
I don't think that's a good idea. Plus 5, fuck me.
Why?
You won't have it for the boss.
Don't worry, man.
You will pay.
What? Don't worry. You have excuse with you, man. Looking at this damage.
Fuck you.
No, I'm saying is your damage is good. That's why you're not gonna have combustion up by the time the boss comes.
Oh, okay.
I have it anyway. Bring the face, because I have bloodless.
I say you will not have it yet. I am better made.
We'll see, bro. We'll see.
Go left.
No! This is not possible! What manner of
If
creatures
you
are
do
Hold
get
on.
it, you're not going to have enough time to spread
Can
your
dispel
ignite.
in 4 seconds.
You'll see, bro. You'll see.
What you'll see? How many seconds cooldown? Please tell.
30 now. 30 seconds.
30 your ass.
20 seconds bloodlust. Fuck me.
Oh my god.
I'm waiting a bit.
Your fate rains down!
I can take next one.
Drown you all like rats.
Hey, look at this. Look at this.
Man,
What
it's
is that?
because you have me in group.
What is? What? I know, man. That's why I know that you don't DPS.
I will drown you all like rats!
100k DPS feels good,
You
man.
have won! You have
Not even 85.
I'm Chaos, I'm Keystone Challenger, what you got, bitch?
Unstoppable!
Give me fucking legendaries.
I got something for you.
Oh. Please tell me it's something I'm missing.
Yeah, it's pretty
Shoulder.
decent.
Oh.
Base stats as well.
I got
Loads
shit.
of mastery
It's not
shit.
this.
Yeah, it is. For shoulders, so it is.
For enhancement, not for elemental.
Oh yeah, elemental. Yeah, you need crit though. But, yeah.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Where are you going
Thank you, sir.
elemental?
Because I wanna feel like a special bitch.
Fucking green shoulders.
Oh yeah, fuck. It's starring now, by the way. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Can you please link?
Yep.
No.
Oh,
And that's,
really
that's the
good.
other thing.
Look key,
Incentive,
look
I
key.
think, opens it up for more people
to consider trying it. The fact that there's an actual tangible thing right there instead of a nebulous, am I going to make any money?
I'll just watch it
Get a
tomorrow.
lot of Twitch viewers maybe.
Yeah, how do I even talk to
Yeah,
a team?
I'm going in the escape room.
Takes that anxiety
Excuse,
out.
I will require your assistance. You come anytime, yes?
Right.
Yeah, maybe. I'll see.
What maybe?
That you have been trying to sort of cultivate in your fan-made heroes that you've been doing. So
No, but
let's talk
seriously,
about
guys,
those. And are there any favorites that you've had?
So there's,
Buckley,
yeah, I do. I've done a series. I've done a couple episodes so far that's been popular on the channel, and it's fan-created heroes. There's been a lot of really
because like
interesting
this
ideas
weekend,
from the community at large. I'll basically just cherry pick some of the
and getting
interesting
drunk
ideas.
together.
A lot of really good
We're going
concepts.
to be like 12
one of the actually very
in a
popular
little
ones
room,
was a stealth character,
us
but we
fucking
already
each
have,
other,
we
you
have
know?
that now.
That sounds pretty
That's
gay,
not
man.
really necessary. I would say one of the ones
Maybe,
really recently
but
that
I'm
I looked
not,
at
so-
though was a more melee-focused character.
Anyways, I'm gonna go AFK.
Blizzard has so
I'm
far
gonna watch
kind of shied
the
away from it. I mean, you
BlizzCon
have someone like
Yeah, I'm going
you
to
have
play
someone like
Overwatch
Genji,
with
but the only
friends that
melee is from his ultimate.
message
So
me
it's not
during
consistent.
the
And
the
then
run.
you have Reinhardt as well. But I
Alright.
think an offensive
So
melee
guys,
character,
yeah,
there's desire for
next
that.
time.
And I think if
Bye-bye.
they could figure out the balancing difficulty behind that, because
User
I think that's
disconnected
why
from
they've
your
shied away
channel.
from it up
Okay,
until this point, because it
I
can be
expect,
hard.
no
You
one's
just
gonna
run up
be
to people and
doing
start
too much
slashing.
stuff
Like, how do you balance that so it feels fair on both sides? I think that'd be a lot of fun, like a highly mobile melee character.
It's true, because Aaron Keller was just saying as well, the assistant game director was saying that even with a stealth character,
Are you streaming,
Sombra
Xander?
was supposed to come out prior to Genji, but they said it was so difficult
here
to
it
balance a stealth character. So I think you're probably right.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see where they go from here. I think they talked about going upwards of 30 heroes. Right now they're 22, soon to be 23. So I'm going to be really interested to see where they go with the design so far. But if it's anything like the newest character that we're getting here, Sombra, like they're really shaking things up with her. It's going to change the game up quite a bit, I feel. And
So
if
they can kind of go anywhere.
Yeah,
I mean, that's the thing.
exactly. Yeah.
All right, well, thank you so much, Stats, for coming and sitting in. We're going to get set to send you out to Hall D in just a moment for the World of Warcraft panel. I know, very excited. But before we do, 2016 marked the release of the Legion expansion along with some in-depth character backstories on the side. The Harbinger series is letting fans get a look at some of the origins of their favorite characters. And this summer, Gul'dan got the chance
User
to tell his
disconnected from your
story.
channel.
On our last expansion, Warlords of Draenor, we actually did a 5-part series to kind of give a bit of backstory behind some of the major players in that particular release. Those pieces did really well for us. They did a great job of setting the table for the events to come in the actual expansion. And because of that, we actually really wanted to kind of dive in again and find more stories to dig out that we could really set the stage with for this next piece.
Well, with each of them, we tried to sort of shed new light on these characters. As a harbinger is a person or a thing that sort of announces the arrival or the coming of another person or thing. Gul'dan is the harbinger of the Burning Legion. The idea was hopefully to humanize him, make him a little more relatable. Not that you start to side with him, but that you sort of be able to see where he comes from.
If you're going to spend any time with a character, I think you need to be able to understand them on a more human level and feel what they feel and go through what they go through. And it was super important for us to kind of put you, the viewer, in his position as best as possible.
We were able to show, that at a certain point he had not always been, super evil. In some ways, it was sort of, how do you engender sympathy for the devil?
Gul'dan is narrating his own story here, so I don't even know if this is the truth. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if I can trust my narrator in this piece, so it's interesting. He may have been telling us his sympathetic, we never want to be the villains in our own stories.
Right.
He's like, dude, let me tell you why I am who I am, I had a pretty messed up childhood. I was picked on a lot. But he's telling us the nicest version so that we feel empathetic, if not sympathetic, with him.
Long have you refused your place in this clan. Now, we rid ourselves of your filth once and for all. Get it over with. So, even now you test me!
artwork plays a key role, a massive role in the interpretation of how this story will come across to the audience. I mean, it's up to Jake, our lead artist on this piece, to basically give you the acting, the lighting, everything that you're going to feel, everything you're going to see. Any of the emotionality of it is really going to come through in his paintings.
There's always a vision of what you're supposed to feel or what the viewer is supposed to feel. And my job is to take what I can offer in terms of performance of the character or color and emphasize those emotional story points. I really wanted to desaturate most of the environments in this piece to mimic Gul'dan's emotional state. You can't only rely on dialogue. And in those moments, very subtle changes in the face, whether it's an eyelid quiver or especially in this limited animation approach, you have to be very judicious with the subtle choices that you put on screen that will tell the story in the best and most impactful way.
I think in general, people just really enjoy getting story, because I enjoy telling it and I enjoy hearing it, and I think we have the kind of fans that, man, they really want to invest in the characters that we have. You know, our players are you know, our biggest advocates in terms of making these things continue to happen. And I think as long as the players, you know, are investing in the story, we'll keep telling the stories.
No one living has heard of the village of my birth. And no one ever will.
I am so excited for the next panel. We have World of Warcraft coming up.
So much stuff. I mean, they touched on it in opening ceremony.
Just a little.
But they're going to do the deep dive. We're coming up to the deep dive. I want to know what happens after Karazhan.
Right.
What are we going to get as far as you said, where's the class halls and the order hall? Where are they going to go?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Artifact weapons. I'd love to know about other skins. I know there's some hidden skins right now that you can get from different bosses and whatnot, but I want to know what else we're going to be seeing with our artifact weapons. Like I've said, you know, we've powered up the weapons. We've done the class halls. We've unified. So where is it going next? This right now, Warcraft is in a place. World of Warcraft is in a place of such rich lore. Because we're right back to where I think the story, like the seed of the story, really is.
Yeah, and they got to cultivate that. They got to, you know, what is the next steps of that iteration of that story?
It feels like the heroes this time around in Warcraft are so much larger than life than they've ever been before. The fact that Sylvanas is leading the Horde. Yeah. You know, Vol'jin's dead. Like, there's spoilers if you haven't seen
I was going to say.
I mean, there's a lot going on with Warcraft.
This is it's so funny as fan service as this is, because it makes me happy inside as a fanboy. It's a dark expansion. Yes. It's not the smiley happy pandas that we know and love. It is people die, and there's some dark stuff that happens through the story. And it's, you know, where is that going to go?
Well, I would like, the number one thing that I want to know is where Sylvanas got that bow. Because that spine bow, I love it. Go. All right, guys, it's about that time. We're going to send you out to our next panel and find out what's next in World of Warcraft Legion.
So excited.
Welcome to the World of Warcraft Legion What's Next panel.
Hello, BlizzCon!
Let's go, boys!
I love it. This is the best time of year. Thank you all so much for coming out, coming all this way from across the country, from across the world, to celebrate the community that we've built together and to learn about what's coming next in some of your favorite Blizzard games. So I know sometimes, you know, you might be hoping that you're going to be in attendance for the announcement of an all-new expansion. Well, this is not one of those years. It'll be way too soon. We're working on one, of course, but we're not going to talk about that right now. Today is all about Legion and what is coming next for you and for us and for everyone in Azeroth. So just before we jump into it, first off, I want to begin by talking a little bit about our philosophy, about how we're approaching Legion content, how we're doing things a little bit differently this time around, and what's really guiding us. And so I think point number one, and this is really the ideal, the value that drives all of the decisions we're making about Legion and about the content that goes into Legion. It's delivering a steady stream of content for all of you, for all of our players. And that means, it means a lot of content. Everyone loves content, right? It means a lot of it, but the steady part also means pacing it out appropriately, making sure that there's something new to do, something to look forward to, something just around the corner, but also that you're not getting overwhelmed, that you're not feeling like you're falling behind, like the next thing isn't coming out before most people are ready for it. So balancing those two ideals, those two competing goals, is kind of what's leading us forward. Next, we really want to double down on one of the magical things about the MMORPG genre. The fact that it's a persistent online world where things are happening when you're not necessarily around. It's a world that's growing, it's a world that's evolving. And we want to really create this sense and instill this sense of a living world where you don't necessarily know exactly what's going to happen when you log in every day. Obviously, you don't know exactly what world quests or emissaries are going to be up, but there could also be random holidays, different events, things that are changing not just through patches, but through just a scheduled, unfurled content that make this a dynamic, evolving, living world. And how we pursue those two goals, we want to change up a little bit how we go about doing that. I think in the past, we've really had these large monolithic patches that have anchored all of our expansion patch content. Things like 6.2 Fury of Hellfire or 3.3 Fall of the Lich King. Big raid tier, 10 plus raid bosses, some outdoor stuff to do, a whole new tier of item level. And there's a great place for that type of patch, that type of patch like 6.2. But a patch like 6.2.3, for what it was, actually also was very effective. It was a small patch. We weren't trying to add a ton of content, but we added Valor points to upgrade your gear, new goals to pursue. The Moose Mount, of course, from the end of Hellfire Citadel, as we saw the community rally together and make a push to defeat Heroic Archimond. Expansions to Time Walking and the Time Reaver mount from there. Just new goals, new rewards, things to breathe life into content that was already out there. That's another arrow in our quiver. And then we also want to experiment with a middle ground, what we can call a medium-sized patch. I think 7.1 is a great example of that type of patch. Who here's had a chance to check out the new Karazhan dungeon in the last week and a half? Yes. One of my favorite pieces of content we've put in the game ever. And that's, it's not a huge patch, it's not the giant raid tier, but it's definitely not a 6.1, it's definitely not a 6.2.3. There's a dungeon, there's a small raid, there's outdoor quest content, there's something for everybody to engage with and move forward with. And so really, it's all about content, it's all about getting it into your hands in the right package in the right ways. And so, with all that said, let's start talking about some of it. So, first up, patch 7.1.5. So this is Legion's first small patch, maybe in the same vein as something like 6.2.3. This is, what is a small patch like for Legion? Well, a couple things. So this type of patch, like 6.2.3 did, will revolve around a lot of systems, new rewards to strive for, and what we call internally evergreen content. That is to say, content that isn't specifically tied to one moment in the story or one particular zone or a tier of gear, but that can actually be relevant throughout the entire future of World of Warcraft's history and lifespan going forward. And what it also means is that it lets us prioritize getting that content into your hands. Now, we're all too infamous for the soon TM and for holding content until it's ready, for holding patches back or expansions back until they're ready. And that's not something we want to compromise on, but when we make this type of patch, one of the most important things about it is when it gets to you. Because for a live game like this, to some extent, quantity is quality. Making you wait isn't fair, it's not right. And so when we build this type of patch, we want to make sure that the individual features, the pieces that go into it, can actually be separated out if they need to be. So let's say there are 4 things that we want to put in this patch, and when it comes down to it, 3 of them are in great shape, they're good to go. The 4th we feel needs a little bit of work. Now, in a traditional huge patch, like if that thing that needs some work is the main raid zone of the patch, well, the patch isn't going out. But for a patch like this, we can just say, okay, let's take that 4 thing, break it off, we'll put it in a 725 or something else down the line, and get the 3 things that are awesome into your hands ASAP. So that is our philosophy when we approach this type of patch, and it's a bit different from how we've often done things. So let's begin on actual details. First up, time walking. So time walking, introduced in Warlords of Draenor. It's been awesome kind of updating some of the old dungeons, giving us a chance to scale down, revisit familiar places, and get rewards that are relevant to us at max level. Time marches on, and now Mists of Pandaria kind of comes into the fold. I think philosophically we feel like time walking is probably only ever going to go to the current expansion -2. Like Warlords probably feels a bit too familiar right now. I don't know that anyone's hankering to jump back into Warlords dungeons today. So Mists, I know, shocking, right? But yes, so Mists is probably where that stops for now, but we're really excited to have all 6 original dungeons from Mists of Pandaria updated for time walking as part of the event rotation, of course with a vendor and new toys and items and cosmetic things to chase after associated with that particular expansion. So that is coming in 7.15. Pretty standard. This is a perfect example of what we talk about when I say evergreen content. This could really go in any patch if it needed to, but 7.15 is where it's going to land. Next, the Brawlers Guild. So the Brawlers Guild shut its doors for renovation for some improvements with patch 7.0. We did this once in the past. We updated the Brawlers Guild for Warlords of Draenor. That time, all we really did was kind of remix the existing bosses, the existing content. We retuned them, we restructured them into a new hierarchy, had some new rewards. This time we wanted to do something more ambitious, and that's why the guild shut down for a little while, because it's going to take some time to make this happen. So for starters, there are dozens of new bosses coming to Brawlers Guild when it reopens in 7.15. So all the familiar favorites are there, but this is always a really fun design exercise for a lot of the encounter design team and others to just make wacky, interesting solo encounters with no real lore constraints. This is definitely not canon. There are no clear rules that apply there other than just make it fun, make it memorable, and at the high end, make it tough. Now also we're going to have a new type of battle that can occasionally occur in the Brawlers Guild. As we all know, it's a solo experience, but of course you have crowds that gather to watch, to cheer, to jeer, and to wait their turn to enter the arena. Well, occasionally, when someone's queue pops, it's actually going to spawn a raid level brawler boss that will pull all players who are currently waiting for their turn into the arena at once. And of course, everyone can share in the rewards and the benefits if you're triumphant, but you never know what's going to happen. Now, one of the really cool things about the Brawlers Guild, as we saw it play out when it first came in Mists of Pandaria, is it is a solo experience, right? You're going in and you have a 2-minute fight to the death against a powerful opponent. But it actually turned into this really cool shared social experience, as people would form groups to buff each other, give each other tips, and generally cooperate and offer encouragement in pursuit of the shared goal of climbing the ranks and unlocking the rewards there. And so this new currency that we're introducing that you'll earn through your brawls is really all designed to double down on that social experience. The things that you spend this on are shared benefits. Someone can spend Brawler's Gold to unlock a graveyard that will let people respawn right next to the fighting arena, for example, for a period of time. That'll make you really popular with everyone who's there. Or you can unlock someone who will let you make predictions on who you think is going to win the next brawl for a chance at new rewards, and everyone can participate in that once someone unlocks it. Really making you glad that other players are around and just kind of sharing in the shared set of goals that you are pursuing. And of course, there'll be new rewards. And in the Brawlers Guild, that basically means shirts. Just lots and lots of shirts. And also a basilisk mount. Because why not? So yeah, that's one other piece of 7.15, the return to the Brawlers Guild. Now let's take a look at some of those wacky, crazy brawls that are coming your way soon. So yeah, Brawlers Guild, it's complete chaos. Again, 100% not canon, and that's part of the fun. So next, 715 is going to also introduce something that we call micro-holidays. Now what, you may ask, is a micro-holiday? Well, simple. It's a holiday, but smaller. No, really, right? Like, holidays in World of Warcraft are things like Winter Veil or the Lunar Festival that last for a week or two, offer achievements, some power rewards, a variety of, pets, mounts, things like that to obtain. Well, what if we had smaller events that only lasted for a day or two? What are some of the things that citizens of Azeroth might celebrate as part of their existence, as part of what I mentioned earlier in contributing to building a living world? What days might matter to them, and how might we interact with those occasions? So some examples of what I'm talking about here. Now, Ahn'Qiraj Remembrance Day. On January 22nd, 2006, on the Medivh server, I believe, here in North America. I want to say it was led by the Guild Fury, maybe I'm remembering right. The gates of Ahn'Qiraj were opened for the very first time in the world. And that was the culmination of 800,000 linen turn-ins and all other sorts of pain. And the servers crashed continuously. So to celebrate that, on January 22nd every year, we're actually going to take the servers down. No. So to celebrate that on January 22nd, in Silithus, Azeroth will celebrate its Remembrance Day of Ahn'Qiraj as Alliance and Horde rally there, perform objectives in the zone, gather supplies reminiscent of the Carapace fragments that you might have gathered back in the old Scarab Lord days, and turn them in on behalf of your faction. And whichever faction in the entire region, in the entirety of North America, or the entirety of Europe, turns in more during this day, they will have their flag, their banner flown over the walls of Ahn'Qiraj for the entire remainder of the year, until the next Ahn'Qiraj Remembrance Day. So, if you want to show your pride for the Alliance, you want to fight for the Horde, come to Silithus on January 22nd. Again, there's no achievements here, no power rewards. There's no mount or pet or thing that will make you upset if you're a completionist and you missed it. It's just something fun and different to do when you log in during this event. Next, Volunteer Guard Day. So Ahn'Qiraj Remembrance Day, it's pretty serious, big stuff. Volunteer Guard Day is really about showing appreciation and respect for the unsung heroes of the Horde and the Alliance. The Stormwind Patroller, the Orgrimmar City Guard that guard the streets of our fair capitals, keeping them safe from evildoers, wrongdoers who would otherwise enter and do us all harm. So on Volunteer Guard Day, if you salute a guard, you can actually take on their appearance, trade places with them for a little bit, and you can go on patrol around the city and keep it safe from various NPCs and others that will attempt to attack. Just a fun, different thing to do. Now on one other day every year, in the zone of Feralos, the Freyfeather hippogriffs hatch. These eggs that are carefully tended, they hatch and they fly out to sea. If you are there on that one day each year when it happens, you can witness that happening, that occurrence, and you can get a little buddy of your own, a little young baby hippogriff, Pepe style, that can just accompany you perching, not a mount or a pet for your collection, not a battle pet to do battle with, but just something neat and different. And finally, really the opposite end of the spectrum in terms of seriousness from Ahn'Qiraj Remembrance Day. Sometimes it can be really rough. Sometimes being a citizen of Azeroth can get you down. You're dealing with the Legion, you're dealing with Deathwing, the Lich King, constantly. Every time you turn around, there's some existential threat to our world. Sometimes you just want to kick back, take it easy. And so this is basically Azeroth Spring Break. This is just, sometimes you just want to take a boat out to the lake, get some sun, chill with your friends, or in the case of, in the case of Azeroth, in this case, the Flooded Thousand Needles, thanks to Deathwing. But yeah, so when it's boat day, go out there and celebrate. Again, this is in no way, shape, or form intended to be on par or substitute for a dungeon or a raid. They're just fun, wacky things that are going to vary the flow of life in the world. We have plenty more in store that we're looking to add in the future, and it's just part of that living world idea that can carry forward throughout the years as time moves on. So next. So in patch 7.1 just recently, ardent PvPers definitely noticed something cool happened to Nagrand Arena. We went back and took one of the most classic World of Warcraft arenas, updated it, brought it into 2016 with all new art, all new visuals, and in 7.1.5, we are doing the same thing to Blade's Edge. Let's take a look. So yeah, very much like the update to Nagrand Arena, this is meant to be a one-to-one match in terms of collision. We're really happy with the gameplay there. We're not looking to change the gameplay, just put a very fresh coat of paint on an old favorite. Now, at the end, you may have noticed the ogre on his throne overlooking proceedings in the arena. One cool feature of this arena is this is actually our first arena map that has sort of a built-in voiceover announcer who will observe events and call out things here or there. We'll see how that goes. If it's successful and well-liked, it may be something we do more of. So, not content, but also 7.1.5 gives us a first chance to really dig into a lot of the class changes that we made in Legion. You know, up until this point, we've mostly focused on fixing bugs. We focused on a lot of hotfix tuning and balancing and tweaking numbers. But 7.1.5 gives us a chance to look more deeply into the substance of class abilities, rotations, talents, things along those lines. And so there's a few things that are going to guide us as we approach those efforts. So first off, we have a lot of data, a lot of feedback. We can look at all of the talent rows across all 36 specs. And we've definitely heard and seen there are many situations where it feels like there's a mandatory talent in a given row, or in other rows there are talents that don't really have a clear purpose. They never seem like they're worth taking. You go to a site like Icy Veins and it has a big red X through it. It's like, this is never worth considering. That's unfortunate. We would like to work on improving that diversity, and some of that's going to be a matter of numbers changes. Sometimes a talent is perfectly well designed, it's just undertuned or it's overpowered. In other cases, however, we need to rework the fundamental concept of that talent. Or perhaps the thing that 98% of players take as a talent should just be a base part of the spec, and we should come up with something new that's going to flesh out that row and make it an interesting choice. That's the type of thing that will be happening in 7.1.5. It's, of course, an ongoing effort, but you'll see some of it here. Next, secondary stats. So obviously, you know, when we build our items, item level isn't always strictly king, but the way rewards are structured, when you go into a new tier, you go into a new zone, and you see something that is 15, 20 item levels higher than anything you've seen before, the way this game is designed, that should be an exciting moment. It should be a reward moment. And too often, due to large disparities between the value of secondary stats, that's not the case. So this patch is also going to give us a chance to take a look at secondary stat balance, trying to narrow that gap a little bit. It's great that if you're a fire mage, you love crit. It's less great that you look at items without it or items with other stats as completely worthless. And there's a middle ground there where you can have value and excitement about some stats while still keeping interest in all of them. Next, and this is kind of one of the most vague points here, but we've also heard a lot of feedback about just the feel, the flow of your rotations, how, you know, abilities that often come into conflict, abilities that are unclear, and 7.1.5 offers us one of the first chances to try to address a lot of that feedback in the aftermath of launch. And they're just pure mechanical improvements that we can make that aren't about balance, they're just about making playing your class a smoother, more pleasant experience all around. And finally, we've definitely heard a lot about this, seen a lot about this, and while we, you know, in the name of streamlining, in the name of focusing spec and class identity in the run-up to Legion, we pruned, we got rid of a number of abilities. there's certainly room now, after that pruning, to have structured growth, to maybe return some of those abilities, to maybe add some new ones, to flesh out toolkits. So for example, if you're a hunter, and you're a marks hunter or a beastmaster hunter, and you don't quite feel like a hunter because you don't have any traps, we agree. It was a mistake to say that... Yeah, it was a mistake, right? It was a mistake to say that only survival has traps. Survival can be the masters of traps without being the only one who have them. There are times where we elevated spec identity at the expense of class identity, and there are places where we can walk that back in the interests of everyone. Or for example, if you're a rogue and you've been running a lot of Mythic Keystone dungeons, and you wish you still had the ability Shroud of Concealment so that you could sneak your group past some packs, and your group might be really happy or excited to have a rogue in the group. That could also be happening in 7.1.5. And by could, I mean is. So that is patch 7.1.5, a small, humble patch in the world of Legion, featuring Season 3 of the Brawlers Guild, Mists of Pandaria Time Walking, micro-holidays, an art update to Blade's Edge, class updates, and more. Bug fixes, new rewards, all kinds of little things. That is the 7.1.5 package. Now, of course, the next question, when? When is this going to be in your hands? When will you learn more? Soon. No, actually really soon. The second we get back from BlizzCon, we're going to work on taking down the 7.1 PTR, working to put 7.1.5 PTR up. You'll see a ton of these changes there. Can't wait to have people jump on, start giving us their feedback, and helping find bugs so we can get into your hands as quickly as possible as all part of a steady stream of content. So 7.1.5, small patch. What comes after 7.1.5? 7.2. Now what possibly could patch 7.2 be? What could that bring? Where might we be going? Seven 2 is the Tomb of Sargeras. In patch 7.2, we will return to the site of our greatest failure, where Alliance and Horde faltered and broke and barely escaped with our lives, where we lost our leaders in the shadow of the Legion stronghold, and we had to retreat. But we've spent the intervening months leveling up, building class orders, recruiting champions, getting artifacts, empowering our artifacts, and it might just be a different story this time around. Where Horde and Alliance failed, the class orders will succeed. Maybe, it's up to you. All 12 classes working together constitute the armies of Legionfall. Where the Alliance and Horde can't necessarily put aside their differences, the leaders of the class orders can see that manifest destiny in front of them and understand the consequences, understand the stakes, and what they must do. And so this is the faction that you will work with, that you will be a part of, that you'll be one of the leaders of, as leader of your class order, as you make your way up the Broken Shore and fight your way to the foot of the Tomb of Sargeras. Of course, there will be all new world quests, both around the world and focused in the Broken Shore. We're incredibly happy with how the world quest system has played out so far. We want to keep doing more with it. And so we see this as really an integral part of making content going forward. When we make quests for a place, when we're telling a story in a place, we're also going to make world quests that complement that story, including things like class-themed, class-focused world quests that are set in the Broken Shore area. Now let's take a look at what the Broken Shore may look like when you return there today. So, a difficult task awaits us at the Broken Shore. So, part of accomplishing our objective, part of making our way to the tomb, is going to involve first claiming a foothold in enemy lands, and then fortifying that foothold, building it up as we strengthen our forces and get ready for that assault. In something that's reminiscent of maybe patch 2.4, Isle of Keldanos, for those who remember that, a big part of what we're going to be doing here is actually restoring and building up old elven ruins into functional structures that can serve as a staging ground as we press the assault forward. And actually, rather than just a sequence as we had it in patch 2.4, here players are going to be actively involved. They're going to have agency in choosing which buildings to build to unlock new content, new rewards, and new ways of interacting with the world. So when you choose whether you want to build or focus on the Nether Disruptor or the Command Center or the Mage Tower and upgrade and fortify those structures, in the course of doing so, you'll be upgrading or you'll be unlocking new world quests. You'll be unlocking new rewards, new vendors, new other types of content, world bosses, what have you, in a way that you, the player, control, rather than we, Blizzard, dictating, okay, this is up this day and that's up that day. It's a much more organic way of delivering content and telling the story of the unfolding battle as you fight your way up the Broken Shore towards the tomb. Now, while that's going on at the tomb, at the Broken Shore, what's happening back in the tranquil areas of Val'Sharah, in the hills of High Mountain and Stormheim? Well, the Legion isn't taking this sitting down. The Legion is striking back. So Legion assaults are very much inspired by our pre-launch invasion event that we had in early August, right before Legion, the expansion, came out. There we were defending places like Westfall, Tanaris. This time around in 7.2, we're going to be defending the other zones of the Broken Isles, as the shadow of the Legion falls upon Val'Sharah or upon Azuna or upon Stormheim. And we need to help defend our newfound allies in the Dreamweavers or the High Mountain Tauren and fight back the Legion so that we can keep pressing our advantage on the Broken Shore. So these zones come under attack. When they do, it'll basically disable all the world quests currently active in the zone, and the skybox turns dark and terrifying. All sorts of demons pop up, Legion command ships in the skies, a very familiar scene for those of you who participated in invasions back in August. This time around, we're wrapping it into our world quest structure, so as you arrive in the zone, you'll be completing a variety of what are essentially world quests to take down Legion lieutenants, to clear out Legion presence from fortified areas. Once you've done enough of that, and by the way, those will count towards your emissary if you have an emissary up in the zone, so don't worry about, world quests going away temporarily. Once you've done enough of that, you'll unlock a target of opportunity and be able to strike at the Legion commander on the ground leading the assault. Again, very similar stuff to what you saw back in August. But then there's one extra step beyond that. Once you fight that assault on the ground, well, there's this massive aerial presence. There's this, Legion cruiser in the skies, bombarding, beaming down troops. And you will join a 3-player scenario, very reminiscent of what we did in Mists of Pandaria, which we haven't really had a chance to revisit in a while. Role agnostic, you can jump right in, and that's where you'll take the fight up onto the Legion ship up in the skies, take that ship down, and fight them back. There's a separate set of content for each of the zones of the Broken Isles, and when you're questing on the Broken Shore and suddenly you see a demon invasion pop up, well, you better head out there, because there'll be great rewards to be won, and of course, we need to safeguard all of our lands from the Legion. So now when I say you're going to head out there, well, how are you going to do that? So often it's been asked, well, so what's the deal with flying? What's the plan with flying? Am I going to use my Flight Master's whistle and then go to the nearest flight point, mount up on my trusty steed, and by steed I mean water strider, and head off to the nearest invasion? Or will I soar majestically through the clouds, gazing down upon the lands of the Broken Isles? Yes. Yes, you will. So patch 7.2 brings the second part and the conclusion of the Broken Isles Pathfinder achievement. So this achievement basically entails the first part, which many people have worked on and already completed and earned their mount speed bonus in the outdoor world, plus doubling down on and following the philosophies that we laid out in Warlords when we announced our flying plans there. Explore the new Broken Shore area, defend the different zones from the new Legion assaults that will fall upon them, complete the main outdoor quest line associated with the Legion Fall campaign, up to opening the gates of the Tomb of Sargeras. Don't worry, you don't need to go in. There's no raid or dungeon content involved in this. It's all about outdoor world gameplay, because that's what you need to master to unlock flying. And then finally get your reputation up with the Legion Fall, the armies of Legion Fall, and you will be able to fly around the Broken Isles on your character and on all characters on your account. So, pretty awesome. I mean, flying around the Broken Isles, that's great. It's going to really change the way we play the game, and it's something we look forward to for a long time. Could there be anything cooler than flight in the Broken Isles? Well, what if you were doing it on your very own custom class mount for every one of your classes? Take a look at this. So yes, each and every one of those amounts awaits you at the end of your class order campaign, at the end of the Broken Shore experience. And even if you didn't see them all flying in that video, they are, of course, all flying-enabled flying mounts, because you will be flying in the Broken Isles. Okay, so moving on. What would the patch, the Tomb of Sargeras, be without the Tomb of Sargeras? So the next raid zone after the Nighthold raid will, of course, be the tomb itself. This is a 9-boss raid where we'll be descending into the depths of the Tomb of Sargeras.
Man, fuck
once
this game, bro.
the ancient holy temple of Elune before it fell into the Legion's corruption.
What the fuck
where
is that
we will
page,
harness
man?
the Pillars of Creation with the ultimate goal of sealing off the Legion's invasion of our world. We scoured the 4 zones that we leveled up in to get those 4 pillars. The 5th pillar awaits us, the Eye of Aman'Thul, awaits us in the Nighthold raid at the end of Suramar, coming in the near future. But by the time we make it here, we will have all 5 of those in our possession, and our mission will be putting them to the purpose for which they were designed, for which they were meant. Now, the Tomb of Sargeras, as I mentioned, used to be the Temple of Elune. It offers a really cool opportunity for us to explore more than just, the black and green exterior Legion facade that you see as we actually delve down into its depths. So on this slide here, we actually have a mix of a 2D kind of side cutout and top-down layout of the raid. This is actually one of the first steps in our internal process of making a new raid zone or making a new dungeon. Before any 3D geometry is built, we want to get a sense of the overall structure, the flow, where the bosses are going to be located, and how it all fits together. I look forward to everyone doing their CSI magic and trying to triple enhance on all the little text here. But the raid itself actually has 4 main sections, I would say. When you first enter, you're entering into what we think of as a dark cathedral area. It's, the grand glory of Elune fallen into Legion corruption. It's a reflection very much of that exterior art style and just that massive entry hall that you enter into. And that's where the Legion presence is most strongly felt initially. But our objective is actually deep down below. And the Temple of Elune existed millennia ago, before the Sundering, as a complement on the other end of the bridge across from Suramar. And the Sundering itself, of course, wrought terrible damage to the structure itself. So as we descend, we're actually going to spend some time venturing out of the Foundation into underground caverns, where powerful minions of Queen Ashar await us, Naga and their allies. Through that section, we'll be able to come back into a very low part of the tomb that actually has in many ways escaped the Legion's influence. It's been sealed away since the time of the Sundering. But darkness has been fostered here. Darkness has been growing and overtaking these halls in the millennia since that time, and that is what we enter to discover, though we will need to go in there and go through there to put the pillars to use. And then finally, once we have explored all of those areas, we will unlock a way down into the deepest, lowest depths of the Tomb of Sargeras, where Aegwynn once fought a battle against the Avatar of Sargeras. And, well, we'll have to see what happens there. Let's take a look at some of the foes you'll be fighting. So first off, we have this guy. He's kind of a cross between an Infernal and a Pit Lord. Plan is for him to actually come crashing through the side wall in that main cathedral entrance area, assemble in front of you, and bar your path. We love starting raids off with large, visually impressive foes, kind of going back to Lord Marigar in Icecrown Citadel and onward from there. Deeper in on the first floor, we have this fellow, a new member of the Legion's army that we've yet to see, kind of a melee variant of the Jailer. As we go further into the Naga-controlled areas, this powerful Naga brute will bar your path, as well as this Sea Witch who commands a powerful Kraken beside her. Now, in those lowest, deepest recesses of the tomb that I mentioned, there is the reason why the Tomb of Sargeras is called the Tomb of Sargeras. This fellow. This is the husk, this is the fallen avatar of Sargeras that once contained the soul of the Dark Titan himself that was vanquished by Aegwynn. But that dark power, a remnant of it, still lingers within him, within this massive construct, within this terrible creature, and we will have to go through him in order to accomplish our final goal in the depths of the tomb. Oh, also this guy. So, Kil'jaeden himself awaits us. The left hand of Gul'dan, brother to Archimonde, who fell at Hellfire Citadel, and the architect of the Legion's latest invasion and their great plan against Azeroth. Kil'jaeden the Deceiver is the ultimate foe that stands at the end of the Tomb of Sargeras. So that is the raid. So do you guys miss patch dungeons? I mean, I know we did Karazhan recently, but that was almost more of a 5-player raid. But remember when we used to do things like Magister's Terrace or Trial of the Champion? Just a little, like, 3-4 boss dungeon to complement the story we were telling? We really miss that too. So let's do another one. So, as I mentioned in the raid, you'll be descending in the raid. In the dungeon, you're going up, you're climbing the tower, you're climbing the spire of the Temple of Elune. You'll go through 4 bosses along the way. And your goal here is going to be to use one of the 5 pillars of creation, the Aegis of Agrimar, which will be put to a special purpose at the very top of the tower to open the way. This dungeon will be available both in heroic difficulty, queuable normally through looking for group, and mythic difficulty, and of course, mythic keystone difficulties, as with all dungeons. So again, as we saw with the raid, here's a little sort of 2D cutout, top-down view of how the dungeon's going to work. As you enter, you're actually in a balcony overlooking that main entrance hall, overlooking that first room of the raid zone, looking down on the space where you would be if you were there, but instead you're going to be climbing up, sort of the concentric rings as the tower narrows towards the top. You'll be going past what was a monument, what was a building to the glory of Elune, past majestic hanging gardens that grew in moonlight, that have of course succumbed to fell taint since then, and the minions of the Legion that infest the halls. So a couple of the enemies you'll be facing in the dungeon include this fellow, because what's a fell garden without a fell tree? And this variant of the Moarg Brute, who will just put a beating on you. if you try to pass. So, raid, dungeon. Let's talk a bit about PvP. So, PvP. In 7.2, what we want to do, as well as, of course, having a new season and building upon our reward structures, we want to introduce a new way, a new mode of PvP gameplay, PvP brawls. Now, these are very much inspired by brawls in Hearthstone, brawls in Overwatch. It's something that we've seen and really enjoyed a lot playing other Blizzard games. The idea here is a week-long event. There isn't necessarily one up every single week. It could be every other week. We'll nail that down. But something that varies up the gameplay, something that changes up the rules and lets you jump into PvP in a new and different way. So the goals of the system, in line with a lot of what brawls serve in other Blizzard games. We want to add variation to the battleground experience. You know, Arathi Basin is awesome, Warsong Gulch is awesome. Many of us have been playing these maps for literally 12 years now, and sometimes a little twist on that experience is welcome. It also gives us a chance to experiment with some new ideas. If we want to try changing the rule sets a little bit, or trying some new match types, new game types, but we don't know for sure how they're going to play out, if they're really going to have legs, if they're fun as a little, test that we do internally, or there's something that people would want to do for months or years to come, this lets us experiment with some of those rule sets, some of those changes, and the most successful brawls could very well find themselves as permanent fixtures in our PvP landscape. And finally, the goal is for these to just be plain fun, and it lets us do some things that are wacky, a little bit different, but it's okay because it's just around for a week, and if you don't want to do it, you don't have to. So let's take a look at a video highlighting a few of these types, and then we'll talk about it on the other side. Okay, so there are many brawls planned, much like micro holidays or that sort of thing. This is an expandable system where we can keep adding new content. Let's talk real quick about some of the things we just saw. So first off, there was South Shore versus Tarren Mill, the return of the anniversary battleground, 40v40 craziness in Hillsbrad. Next, a slight variation on Warsong. It's just the Warsong Gulch map, but how does Capture the Flag play if you can cap their flag even if you don't have your own? How does that change your strategy? How do you change your approach to this time-honored map? We'll see. Next, Packed House is what we call this. What if we drop two 15-player raid groups into one of our standard arenas like Blade's Edge or Nagrand? What does that look like? Is it balanced? I can promise it won't be, but will it be crazy? Probably. Gravity Lapse, that was the little Eye of the Storm cameo you saw there. The basic rules like gravity don't necessarily apply when you're in Netherstorm. Winter Arathi Basin is one of the cooler ones. No pun intended, sorry, actually really didn't intend that. It's Arathi Basin, except of course a blizzard has descended upon it. And it's not just a cosmetic change, you actually have very low visibility. You can only see 50 or 60 yards around you. So if you're up at Lumbermill, you certainly can't see what other people are doing. So you better communicate well as you plan your assault, plan your defense. Oh, and of course, since it's winter, all the water's frozen over, so you can just ride over all of it. Should be a cool twist. And finally, one that wasn't in the video, but is a personal favorite. So one of my favorite PvP world quests is the bareback brawl one up in Stormheim, where everyone can jump on various mounts. And there's a ram mount that you can get that will just send whoever you hit flying. Now, what would the Eye of the Storm battleground be like if everyone were permanently on ram mounts? We'll find out. Okay. Next up, artifacts. So artifacts, like world quests, another pillar of Legion that we are incredibly happy with, incredibly psyched about how these have turned out. And we want to and we need to continue updating them with content, with rewards, and fleshing out the system so that artifact power is something that is valuable and that you desire for as long as Legion is Legion. So first off, we're going to be introducing the ability to further empower your artifact, unlocking all new traits, never before seen, including a new gold border one, a three-pointer, and a utility trait that you can work your way towards. At the same time, you'll also empower your existing artifact in a way that lets you put a fourth point into all of your three-point traits. That's going to be a total of 15 new points that you can spend once you've empowered your weapon in 7.2. Of course, in order to make this reasonable, in order to make this not just a ridiculous, insane grind, there will of course be new artifact knowledge levels that will let you continue to catch up. Now obviously, as time goes on, I actually meant to mention this in the 7.1.5 context, as time goes on, we become increasingly sensitive and we think a lot about alt-friendliness, about main switching, about someone who picks up the expansion a few months in and what their experience is going to be like. And so in 7.1.5, we're actually rolling out some artifact knowledge catch-up mechanisms where if you are, a decent ways behind the cutting edge in terms of knowledge, you can just purchase knowledge levels directly with order resources from your researcher without having to wait those multiple days for the work orders up until at least 10 or more. That way you can just play the game instead of feeling like there's no point trying to progress on your alt until you get past this feeling, this arbitrary time gate. Just spend your order resources, go. Also in 7.2, we're going to be varying up relics a little bit. We're going to be introducing new types of relics that can modify not one, but two traits. So you have some all-new combinations you can unlock. If there are a couple of things that you think synergize really well with each other in your artifact, you can look for items that are going to modify them in combination and really just push the power level of your weapons and your character farther than ever before. Now that's the mechanics that you'll be earning, but there's of course content to go with those mechanics. As there was when you first obtained your artifact and you first went out and went through the storyline that led to claiming the weapon as your own. In 7.2, we will see a continuation of that artifact quest line. And so anyone who has unlocked most of their artifact up until that point will be able to jump into 7.2, do this continuation, and that's what will allow you to further empower your weapon, unlock these additional 15 points that I just mentioned. But even further after that, there's also a new appearance that we're going to make available for every single weapon. Now, there are 5 appearances for each artifact currently available in the game. There's the base one that you begin with. There's what we consider the upgraded or evolved form of that you get from finishing your order campaign. There's the PvP one that you get from dedication to PvP gameplay and prestiging. There's the organized PvE one that you get from organized dungeon and raid content and a lot of perseverance there. And then there's the hidden one, which you don't get. Sorry. We're working on that. But what we're adding to flesh that out is a solo one. An appearance that recognizes not time commitment or organized gameplay, but dedication and mastery of your specialization. This is very much inspired by the Rock Delar questline back in classic World of Warcraft, by the Priest questlines for Anathema and Benediction, or more recently by Warlocks and Green Fire in Mists of Pandaria. The idea is there will be a difficult challenge that tests your skills with your spec, and if you can overcome it, then this is some of what awaits you. So I'm going to go through these pretty quickly since we have 12 classes, but these are the Death Knight appearances, Frost and Holy Blood, Demon Hunter, Havoc and Vengeance, Druid. You can get that Spectral Cat form that we showed off back at Gamescom last year. Oh wait, Guardian's not on here. That's weird. Oh yeah, here. So, a very different type of bear form. This is almost like a werebear. New animations, different style. If you see one of these tanking your dungeon, You know that they're a good player because you know that they completed a challenging Guardian Druid test. Hunters, mages, monks, paladins. There's that Shattered Ashbringer in the middle that, again, we showed off like well over a year ago that you'll now actually be able to get. Priests, rogues, shamans, warlocks. If you want to dress up your floating skull some more, you can do that. And warriors. That's weird. That thing in the middle, that looks kind of like a flail or a morning star or something. I didn't know WoW could do that. Guess it can. Weapon physics, it's a thing. Okay, so those are some of the artifact rewards that you can earn, that you can seek out and claim if you are good enough. That's the only barrier. Dungeons. So obviously I mentioned a new dungeon coming in 7.2. We are incredibly happy with how central dungeon gameplay has been to Legion so far. With the array of dungeon content that we've had, with the Mythic Keystone system that really provides an alternate parallel progression to gearing if you're not, you have a smaller group that's not necessarily up for rating but wants challenging content. And so we want to keep building upon that. So we're doing a few things on that front in 7.2. First off, we want to make sure that dungeons stay relevant. Right, when we move on and we have Nighthold gear and 7.2 is coming out, what's the point of running a heroic dungeon at that point? What's the point of running even a regular mythic dungeon that drops 840 gear if we're all in much better stuff than that? So when 7.2 comes out, we're actually going to increase across the board the difficulty of heroic and mythic dungeons as well as their rewards across the board. We're going to basically introduce the Tomb of Sargeras dungeon in heroic and mythic, and that will have the tuning and reward that makes sense for a dungeon in that place. And then everything else is going to be moved up right alongside it so that they all stay relevant, as opposed to the problem we often run into in the past where, let's say in 4.1, the troll dungeons come out and you don't have any reason to run the original dungeons. What that also, of course, means is that the whole Mythic Keystone system also gets renormalized and bumped up on top of that. So rather than being irrelevant, a Mythic 3 or Mythic 4 will go back to being challenging and relevant for the intended audience alongside the Tomb of Sargeras raid in 7.2. Karazhan. Now, initially, it felt like, man, 9 bosses or 8 bosses, depending on how you're viewing it in Karazhan, that's really tough to have as one dungeon experience without a weekly lockout. In 7.2, we're going to break this up into upper and lower sections that will be available as 4-boss Mythic Keystone runs, but they'll also be queuable random heroics. Also at the same time, we're going to add queuable heroic versions of Court of Stars and Archway. So that if you are the heroic dungeon player, if you're not someone who jumps into match-made or to organize non-match-made mythic dungeons, you basically have 5 new dungeons coming your way for your playstyle in patch 7.2. Oh yeah, speaking of Mythic Keystones, one of the great things about this is that it's an expandable system. We can keep adding new variables, new ways of interacting with the system. So expect some new affixes coming your way. For those of you in the crowd who are some hardcore progression raiders, if you've done Mythic Il'gynoth and you know how the bloods work, imagine if every mob in the dungeon wore an Il'gynoth blood. Just imagine. It's great.
What the fuck? Wow.
What, why don't you guys think it's great?
Why do you do this?
I give up. Okay, so 7.2, pretty large patch for Legion. Outdoor questing zone, 9-boss raid, 4-boss dungeon, Legion assaults, PvP brawls, artifact challenges with new traits, dungeon updates, flight in the Broken Isles, and new class mounts, and more. When is this coming? No, actually soon TM, sorry. But right after 7.15 PTR is done, again, apologies to those of you who hate content, but get used to there often, almost always being something on the PTR. The second something comes down, we're going to have a new thing to put back up because the content train marches on, and that's how it goes. So 7-1, 7-1-5, 7-2. There'll of course be a 7-2-5 after that. So yeah, I mean, at the end of 7-2, we will have delved into the depths of the Tomb of Sargeras. We will have vanquished the avatar of Sargeras again. We will have stopped Kil'jaeden himself. We will have used the Pillars of Creation to seal off the Legion's invasion of Azeroth. Feels a lot like that's where this story should come to an end. I mean, in a lot of ways, Icecrown Citadel is kind of like the Tomb of Sargeras of Wrath, and that's where that ended. So, where else is there to go after this? Well, if you've been listening to Illidan, if you've been listening to and learning about the nature of the Legion, you know that they're likely to be back. We may win a brief respite. We may save ourselves for a day or two, for even a year or two. But what will come after that? They'll just be back for more. Where else could we go in our search for the end of the Legion? If we want to stop the Legion, if we want to truly win peace for Azeroth, we're going to need to look beyond the land around us, beyond the Broken Isles, beyond Azeroth itself, to the skies. We are going to need to go to Argus. Now we're going to have a whole lot more to talk about when it comes to this in the future.
Oh
but there's
my
almost
God,
nothing that I can say
hometown.
that would not be a tremendous spoiler right now. But suffice it to say, this story and our journey is far from over. We have an epic tale, an epic story, and an epic amount of content prepared coming your way. Thank you so much for joining us for the ride. Hang on tight, because it's going to be a great one.
You're watching BlizzCon 2016, an original DirecTV production since 2008.
We are going back to Argus at some point. That's amazing. I like how Ian just did a mic drop at the end and was just like, oh yeah, by the way.
I love all the question marks. It was like,
Yeah.
the end. All right, I'm going to go. Wait, the end? Question mark, question mark, question mark? Oh my God.
I love this. Anyway, you guys, there's so much great stuff coming out of the Legion panel, and I have so many questions. And luckily, World of Warcraft executive producer Jalen Brack is joining us on the Blitz couch. What's up, Jalen Brack?
How are you guys?
Oh, fantastic. Even better now.
Ian did a good job.
Oh.
Ian, watch your Deb, always looking after us. Well, you know, there's a lot of big announcements that came out of this panel.
Right.
One,
Yeah, I did.
flying, being able to unlock
there you go.
account-wise.
Fucking seems like some good shit.
Let's talk a little bit about that.
7.15.
You know, one of the things that the team was really important to the team. We really didn't hear it from the community at all, but for me,
I like
the team
that they
was
put
how important
some relics with
flying
2
was.
stats.
We've
That's
never
nice.
really heard that from the community.
It makes it more flexible, you know? So you don't have to...
Absolutely.
The last couple of years.
Yeah, so...
People hate it.
Yeah, so, you know, it's a feature for us.
Yeah, for sure. Farming is the shit, man. That's why we play MMOs.
Pathfinder Part 1. Ian just talked about Pathfinder Part 2 that's going to come in 7.2.
Yeah.
We really want people to be able to unlock
Thanks,
flying, really
by the way.
experience